Welcome to the Geek Homeworld podcast. I am your host, Ed, aka The Savage Tech Man. We talk film, TV, and tech, all from a geek perspective. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and you can subscribe and follow on YouTube at Geek Homeworld. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Be a part of the Geek Homeworld.
I'm sorry, it gets me every time that when that voice comes in.
The Geek Homeworld.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
You didn't hear that.
The other week I made a mistake and went to Tweak Homeworld. Just a bunch of druggies, man. It was terrible.
An honest mistake.
It's Twerk Homeworld, thank you.
Twerk? You be twerking?
It'll be twerking.
Please, no, if you go to Twerking Man, please put it on your icon.
Let my icon twerk.
Kill the camera.
Nah, I believe that twerking is one of the primary ingredients to the downfall of our society.
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. Hold on. I'm just trying to get something set up here. You know me, I'm always ahead of time and
always on time and prepared.
I just feel like twerking is like, oh, I don't need to have a personality because I can shake this.
I got a booty. I can shake it.
It's like what's his name though? Like from the Goonies, where he did the thing with his belly. What's that called?
The truffle shuffle.
The truffle
Yes. Sloth loves chunk.
Yes.
Oh Lord. I don't even know where to start. Welcome to
you guys.
Baby, Ruth.
Banners. Boom. Let's do this. See if that goes on the show. Welcome to Geek Homeworld episode 179. Anything goes live stream because I can't think of anything intelligent to put up there. I was gonna plan, but
let's talk politics. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No. Let's not. Let's do everything but that.
Let's talk Olympics then. No, just kidding.
I know that's politics.
I want to welcome Sergeant Curtis Schultz, aka Kurt Kenobi. And we've got the Profit Director. You can find him at youtube.com/channel/ a bunch of crazy letters that you see on eye exam.
Yeah, just the Profit Director's channel.
Yeah, and on Instagram he's P Diddy something. No, what did I say?
Destro 1973.
Okay, and we've got who's the other guy? I think I know him.
Well, that would be
Caveman.
DC. You kept saying on some of the streams we did, you said DC, and I'm like, who the hell's DC? I was like, oh, Caveman.
Yeah,
It's our capital, man.
Yeah.
What the hell? How un-American of you.
I got a question. 20% ALC by volume. Is that a lot?
No.
Oh, well, it feels like a lot.
That's like drinking Kahlua.
It's
I
good,
mean,
though.
it's more than a beer.
Oh.
I had a no jacket required beer today. It's a local brewery.
Me and Profit Director keep talking about doing a review on the dude. What's his name?
The
The
dude?
Big Lebowski.
Dude?
Yeah, we were
Big
talking about
Lebowski.
it just before you came in.
You were watching it? You were talking about it?
Well, no, I was talking about how the only time I drink is when I get together with friends once a year to watch Lebowski.
Oh, yeah. When we do that review, though, we need to be drinking that.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, put Destro in a row or a Profit Director in a row.
But, at that point, we all have to have, a bottle of Kahlua, a bottle of vodka, and some cream available.
Yeah.
Or this.
Oh no, that's too heavy for me. I had to leave out the Kahlua and the cream.
I got crooked.
Maybe some.
Crooked.
Well, it's
Crooked-
not a White Russian if you don't
some-
do it all
yeah,
the way.
no, I can't do right Russian, man. No,
This is a Crooked Cow coffee bourbon.
I will.
Well, I
will-
understand that DC. I understand that you can't do White Russians, but maybe you could do
Yeah.
some White Russians.
Yeah, those
know what?
either.
You know what caveman can't do?
What?
Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember. Damn it, Romulan
Ale.
Romulan ale. I screwed
Yes,
that up.
I once ran across this recipe for a drink called Vulcan Mind Probes, which basically I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and call it Romulan Ale, because
Well,
that's
do you guys
basically what it
remember
was.
the video for Meatloaf's "I Would Do Anything for Love"?
Vaguely,
won't do
yes.
I do. That was a
I
great
never
video.
liked that song, and my friend and I absolutely hated it.
And
And you know, they had Meatloaf with the little forehead stuff, and we used to
Yeah.
joke and say, "Don't eat the Romulan meatloaf; it's gone bad."
that's sweet.
But anyway, this stuff was it was a little bit potent, kind of like the real Romulan ale, and it was basically made out of like an ounce and a half of vodka and an ounce of blue Caraca,
Certain kitty has claws.
and
His name is Mad Cat.
Mad cat.
No, I'm just kidding. It's Sylvester. He's bothering me right now. I gotta give him.
Do you have a Tweety bird?
No, I don't have a fever.
Sylvester and Tweety.
Yeah, Sylvester ate it.
He hate him.
but yeah, Ed came to my house one night. We were drinking those as shots, and it was
It was
it
what?
was a wild time.
It ripped a hole in the fabric of space and time.
Hola.
Hey, you know,
me.
there's a good subject, right? You know, since it seems like the world is ending, and I, for
Still
one,
ending?
say, you know, there's not much worth saving here. Bring on the media.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, we could talk about disaster films.
There we are. Disaster films. The greatest disaster film of all time. I'll start. Or well, it's a favorite. I don't know if it's the best. Independence Day. Guilty pleasure.
Well, you know-
I don't really consider Independence Day a disaster film. I consider that an invasion film,
Either way, it's a
right?
disaster.
Because to make it a disaster film,
That was the
I
second
feel like
one.
it needs to be about, like, you know,
Well-
a natural disaster or an earthbound disaster, right? Like
Well,
2012 counts as a disaster film. The Day After Tomorrow counts as
Right.
a disaster film. Volcano, Dante's Peak, The Poseidon Adventure, you know.
Armageddon. Don't speak. Yeah.
Armageddon
Yeah.
actually
I'm
does count, you know, as
Armageddon.
well as Deep Impact.
Deep Impact
Deep
was a-
Impact. Dude, there's a
that was a
movie
porn.
right there. They should have saved that title for a porn.
I'm sure.
Right,
someone
but like
did.
Mars Attacks and Independence Day, I think those fall under like a invasion.
No, I would place Mars
They
Attacks.
destroy a lot of things
under
in
comedy.
Independence Day.
They do. But I have to say, even if you're talking about Independence Day, I like Mars Attacks better, man. That opening
What?
scene with all the cows running by the farm on fire, like, bro, that set the precedent. For
I
the whole
love
film.
Independence Day, and Jack Nicholson as president. Sign me up.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched that in 20 years, probably. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, when it came out in what 94? Was it 94? Independence Day came out.
96. 96.
No. Yeah,
96.
92,
I was in
96.
Bosnia.
96. You're right. Indeed.
You know, at the time, it looked amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It
Dude,
just
it still
hasn't
holds
aged
up.
very well.
Well, I really
No.
like the effect of the way they blew up the city because they kind of built the city on a wall, like
Yes,
sideways,
and then let the fire
and
run up it.
let the flames of the explosion like rise up through it. You know, that was pretty cool. I honestly wish that you know, George Lucas had thought of that with the trench run stuff.
Yeah.
Because it would have made the explosions like go in the right direction instead of going straight up, you know.
Yeah. Well, you got to remember they were pretty much recreating special effects.
Oh
Or-
yeah, I mean,
or,
you know, we're talking about 1978, you know, or 77, so it's like
Yeah.
there's only so much they could do.
But that probably was Industrial Light and Magic that came up with that, because I think they did the the effects for.
They did.
I mean, well, at the
their
time they
hands
were
are
doing
in
the effects for
everything.
everybody, every big
Their hands
movie.
are in everything.
Yeah, right.
So-
If it had Spielberg or Lucas's name on it, it was definitely ILM that did the effects.
Oh yeah. And like everything had THX sound back then, which
And
is so cool. I love the intro to THX.
Another good thing about Independence Day is we actually got to see Brent Spiner do something other than
Star Trek.
Lieutenant Commander Data.
I was just about to say that was the disaster of the movie.
I mean, come on, man. Anything with the gold
He
bloom
was the
is
fun
good,
part.
man. You gotta love the gold bloom.
Goldblum is
That's no.
You and me got to work on our
Was
communication.
he in the
here.
second one? He was in the second one, wasn't he?
He was in both.
He was, yeah.
Yeah, no, that second
could
one
see-
that was a disaster into itself.
I was upset. Because me and my wife are big Independence Day fans. We just always been. It's just kind of a thing. And we went and saw Resurgence, and we got to see one of the sneak previews and all that. And there was a special mug or whatever you get, cup. And then it was at AMC that time. It's years ago, obviously. And it started like 30 minutes late, and then the sound was, it was like everything that could go wrong. And we had lanyards and everything for being, the sneak peek and all that. And it was a big disaster. And then the movie turned out to suck really bad. And so I've never forgiven
it
them.
was horrible.
Now there's something that I'd like to change in the lexicon of American slang. The word suck. Everybody puts that as like a negative thing, but everything that I know of that sucks is pretty damn great. Your vacuum cleaner sucks. It cleans up your floor.
Your girlfriend or your wife.
No, nobody's gonna complain if that girlfriend sucks, right? So,
well, that just depends on the circumstances.
What if your boss sucks?
Because if
then I'm sure she's making Dad rather happy.
I love that you thought it was a she.
Well, you said mom, and I'm not woke, so I assume you meant a woman.
The Olympics, sucked.
The Olympics did suck,
but not in the good
terrible. Way. Oh my gosh, I just found out today about the lady from that country that did the breakdancing. She's teaches a class in her country, whatever country they're Scandinavia or whatever, about breakdancing, and they were defending her and say, what?
She's got a degree in fucking cultural dance. What the hell is that degree?
And they said, well, hey guys,
bullshit. That's what it is.
Nobody in our country can dance, let alone breakdance. And I'm like,
yeah, fucking Ray Gun, man. She's humiliated beyond belief right now.
Yeah,
I saw somebody did a meme. They're I sprayed a cockroach in my kitchen with an entire can of bug spray, and this is what happens. And it shows her spinning around on the floor.
God, it's terrible.
Wow.
Folks,
you know what though? It's kind of funny when you think about it, right? Because if you go back to the 80s, I remember, it always seems to be Australia that gets the huge humiliation, at the Olympics. Because back in the 80s, it was the Winter Olympics, and I don't know if you guys remember Eddie the Eagle Edwards. He went on David Letterman, and Letterman was like, "Oh, so I understand that you set a record for the ski jump," and he's like, "That's right, I did the shortest ski jump in history." He's like, how many participants were there? He's like 58. And he's like, and what place did you come in? He goes, 58th.
Fly like an eagle.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Yeah, people do dumb shit, man.
I got a copy strike for singing Gummy Bears once.
Oh yeah, just for you singing on here, we'll get you a copyright strike if
not on my channel.
If somebody watches it. So.
Nobody watches it.
Nobody.
Look at all the people
watching, and I fucking got hit. That's the only time I ever got hit.
You're in a live stream singing to yourself.
Yeah,
you're extra. That would be.
It seems like that would be allowed, seeing as how you were singing it yourself.
Unless you copyright recorded yourself.
You got cover bands or people doing covers
Yeah.
all over YouTube.
And you are not hurting Steve Miller. He's still going to make his money regardless.
Yeah. I think Jurassic Park is a disaster movie.
It is.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Yes. It was a good movie.
Especially
it was a
the
great
second
movie.
from last one.
Yeah,
Was
they're
it?
getting
Right.
they
Not
need to
only
shut
was
up.
it a disaster at the box office, but the island also had a volcanic eruption and killed all
That is
those
true.
dinosaurs.
That is true.
Yeah,
The last one, I didn't care for the very last one either.
I didn't either.
I like
What a
one.
missed
I like
opportunity. Look,
one, and I like two, and then the rest of them.
I just like Dallas Howard.
I guess.
well, here's
first-
the thing, right? Because Jurassic World could have been a decent start to a trilogy.
That's what I was going to
and
say.
they established in that film that the military was interested in weaponizing velociraptors, right?
Right.
And you even got Vincent D'Onofrio talking about we're going to send them in, to the enemy, foxholes, and they're going to eat them, belt buckle and all, And I'm like, why didn't we go there with the sequel, with the military trying to weaponize dinosaurs?
Yeah.
I would have loved to see like a herd of raptors
The
trying to
last
take
one,
down like Al Qaeda or something. You know what I mean?
the last one that brought in like some of the old original cast. It felt like Disney trying to do, Rise of Skywalker or something like that. It did not work for me. To me, they should have just left them out. It was worse than Ghostbusters, the last Ghostbusters, where they brought everybody in. And I just hated it.
About.
No,
and what an unappreciative little bitch, right? These people are raising her and feeding her and clothing her, and she like acts like they're like the enemy. It's like, you little clone, you're lucky anyway. You're lucky they didn't dissect you.
That's just teenagers, though, man.
No, she belongs in the mines.
I'm reporting you. Click, click, click. Yeah, they need to let it go. It's like, I was like, the worst part was when they brought the original cast back, and I was like, yeah, the legacy cast, and that would have been great, or you would have thought that would have been great, but no. Other than Jeff Goldblum, it didn't. And I don't blame.
Like, no.
And I don't blame them.
Last time, it's not good.
Yeah. I don't blame like Laura Dern and other dude. Can't think of his name. I don't blame them.
Neil.
They just had a crap to
Sam
work
Neill.
with. Sam Neill, yeah. It was not their fault. It was just a poorly written story, so it just didn't work.
Cool dinosaurs though.
Yeah. They always get the one that's even better than the better. Okay.
Yeah, like they always have to top, like
the
T-Rex.
impossible dinosaur.
T-Rex
Let's
in the
combine
first
them.
one, and then the second one was I don't even remember what the second one. Then the third one, they had the Carnotaurus, who was even bigger and badder than the
He had a spike thumbs or some shit.
Yeah. And there's
still got killed.
what the Alusa Buchas, whatever,
But
was in
did he
there
have
too, and the one that was in the water.
He didn't have a Transformers like glove that King Kong had in the last one.
Yeah, no, he didn't have that. I finally watched that. That wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie.
You have to look at that
The
as
Lost World did a better job of showing what would happen with dinosaurs on the main line than any of the than the last two that actually had dinosaurs on the main line on that.
Yeah.
Especially the bit where the T-Rex goes to the pool to drink.
Yeah.
And the next thing you see is the dog house hanging from the T-Rex's mouth by a chain.
They should have shown them, the velociraptors riding through Chicago, picking up all the bad people or something, the gang members and stuff.
Hey, I would have loved to see Chicago gangbangers versus velociraptors. Well, I'd like to see that in real life.
That sounds like a sci-fi original movie right there.
Yeah, I would watch that film.
Go pitch it.
But that's not really surprising when you realize that I've watched all of the Sharknado films.
Oh my God.
No, I had to stop after the first one, man. When I watched through the first one, and I was like, I realized this is an hour and a half of my life I will never get back. I was like, no, I'm done.
Oh, but they're so bad, they're good, man.
I said,
you get to watch Will Wheaton get bitten in half by a shark while he's on a plane.
Okay, maybe I might have to go look that up.
That's like watching zombie strippers or something.
But it's like that.
That's
what
a
was
cool idea.
the
No,
shark
it's
movie?
it's an actual movie. Robert Englund stars in it.
Yeah, it's
Of
actual.
course.
But
He's
I
like the
kept
guy who runs the strip club where the
Yeah.
girls all zombify.
I kept saying to myself, I should have stopped watching this movie when the credits rolled, and it said it was starring Ian what's his face from 90210 and
Ian
Tara
Zerling?
Reid. Yeah, I was like, I should have stopped watching it right when that come up, but no, I went all the way through. And
I mean, Tara Reid is a good indicator that it's going to be bad as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
She even sucked in American Pie.
Literally.
I don't even know what to say.
Here's your
You
time.
just say this one time at band camp.
It's one time in band camp.
This one time at Jedi camp. No, I'm just kidding.
Jedi camp.
Yeah,
There
but that
was
was
an
another
acolyte.
property that they went too deep into, right? They could have just left it American Pie, but
Too
no,
deep?
they had to make like 6 of them.
Yeah, and it's like the first one was good, then the second one was just kind of meh, and then the third one was funny, and then the last one was just garbage.
Well, I never understood the attraction to Stifler's mom. I'm like, why do people
she
think
wasn't
this
that
woman's
attractive.
She
No.
can't even open her eyes.
No, it was the funny fact that dude picked on dude and then he ended up banging his mom.
Well, exactly. In the first movie, it was fine, but like they kept like throughout all the films, they kept trying to make it look like Stifler's mom was some kind of supermodel, and it's like, no, just no.
Yeah, no, she was not.
No, just no.
I know
Not
Prophet's heard me
attractive.
say this before, but for you other two gentlemen, my grandmother's maiden name was Stifler, and I'm in Michigan, so we get a joke about that all the time from family members.
Stifler's mom.
Yeah, every time I think of Sean William Scott, I just think of that scene in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where they're in the van. Like, this guy said he'd fuck a sheep.
I think of what was Evolution, where they're like the flying critter got away, and it's in the mall. He's like, "How do you call it? This is how you call it? Doogie cock."
Right? Whatever happened to Orlando Jones, man? That guy disappeared from movies altogether.
I don't know.
Oh,
The last thing I remember seeing him in was the TV
American
show.
American Gods.
No, Sleepy
American
Hollow,
Gods is
American
good.
Gods. That's right.
American Gods is a good show.
the Fox show,
Damn good.
Sleepy Hollow. That was the
I
last
mean, and
thing
if
I
you gotta
saw.
go,
Yeah, he was in
doing
Sleepy
it with
Hollow.
Belquist doesn't seem like a terrible way.
Yeah, they did him wrong in that show though. Like they
Yes.
had that strike, and he ended up writing everything, and they got basically robbed out of that,
And that was a good show for the first couple of seasons.
yeah.
Well, and he was in the Guy Pearce Time Machine movie as the pre-recorded message in the museum ruins.
2002, yeah. Time Machine there.
That was good. Oh, what he was in that
He was in The Replacements. That was a pretty good film.
the Galaxy Universe movie. What was that called? It was like really good. Really good book.
The Galaxy. When was it?
Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That wasn't him.
That wasn't him? Yeah, I don't see
No, that
him
was
on
Mos Def.
What?
That was the rapper Mos Def.
What else? He's in Abbott Elementary. Or
heard of
was a couple episodes. It's a TV show. But I'm trying to find American
Yeah, that
Gods. he's in
Hitchhiker's
that.
Guide to the Galaxy is a terrible movie for anyone who's read the books.
Oh yeah. It's different, but it's still good. I mean, it's
I
nowhere near.
had a hard time enjoying that film. Yeah, I didn't think it was great. I didn't read the book, obviously, because there were a lot of words and not enough pictures. So that automatically excused me from reading it. But
No, those books are hilarious, man. They're
Are they?
fantastic.
Yeah, they are. They're great.
In particular, I think it's the second book, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. They go into this restaurant, and the way it works is because the restaurant exists throughout time, right? So no matter what time you go there, all you have to do is make a 1 penny deposit, and they go back to the beginning of time and deposit that penny for you, and it accumulates interest over the centuries. So when it becomes to the end of the universe, you've got enough money there to like order whatever you want. And you basically just watch the universe end through the window. But the cool thing about it is they have like steaks like on the menu, right? And to appease the vegetarians, they've breeded these cows to want to be eaten, right? So they bring out the cow to the table, and the cow's like, what part would you like them to cut off? And he's like, I don't know if I can eat something that's talking to me. And he's like, I'm highly offended, sir. I've waited my whole life to be eaten, and you refuse. You know what I mean? It's really hilarious.
Oh.
Yeah, but that movie messed up Zephod Beeblebrox like terribly badly. I liked Arthur Dent and I liked Ford Prefect, but Trillian and Zephod were both terribly misused. Trillian in all 5 books never hooks up with Arthur, and in the movie they hook up at the end of the first one. Like, what kind of stupid crap is that?
They push it.
It's like Starship Troopers, where the book, all they took to make the movie out of the book was the fact that humans were at war with bugs.
That was
right. It's just the
crazy directions
because
sequels.
The book for Starship Troopers is very political. You know, it gets into detail about like, you know, the benefits of serving in the military so that you can become a citizen.
Yep.
You know, and they barely touch on it in the film. Pretty much just in the co-ed shower scene.
Pretty much.
You know, where like one of the girls is like, you know, oh, I want to have a baby and it's easier to get a license if you're a citizen, and you know, stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, I got a question. What is a movie that's not necessarily a box office hit, but became a cult classic that you think is overrated? And I'll start. The Fifth Element.
I can reach through this screen and slap you.
I can agree with that one.
No, I thoroughly enjoyed the Fifth Element.
I didn't get it.
I enjoy it too, but I do think it's overrated.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's one of those movies where you're flipping channels or streaming services or whatever, and it's on, and you stop to watch it.
I stopped to fast forward through it. What's another one? Let's see.
I don't know. I can't think of any.
The Big Lebowski.
Hell no.
Yeah, on that one, I can't agree with you, man.
I don't know that I've actually watched it. I'm going to have to watch it with you guys.
You hadn't, because remember a while back, Raz tried to get you to watch it, and you were like, I'll watch it, and then you didn't ever watch it. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack alone makes that movie worth watching.
I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie.
The Dude.
You got Kenny Rogers' best song in it during a dream sequence. I just dropped in to see what condition my condition was in.
Yeah.
I love that song.
That's when he was with First Edition, right?
Yes, that's absolutely right. A lot of Creedence Clearwater Revival in it.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was the stuff that was in his car when it got stole.
I was outside cutting grass today, and it's just, you know, had my ear pads, or whatever you call them things you put in your ear to hear music, headphones, and what is it? Who'll Stop the Rain came on. It just in my playlist. And it's like, I just stopped and it's like, what a great freaking song. I'm like, really great music, and like, I was so thankful for that song. I don't know why.
You know, if we're talking about movies with an amazing soundtrack, you can't leave out Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah, you can't. I was gonna say The Big Chill as well. The Big Chill is like possibly one of the best soundtracks of all time. Up there with Saturday Night Fever.
No, Transformers the movie, 1986.
You did say that on one of the other streams.
That's a really good soundtrack.
It's not trolling.
Back to your bridge, man.
It really is considered one of the best soundtracks ever.
Not by me.
Yeah, but you're a peon. You're only 6 inches.
Yeah, well, you got the touch, man. You would touch my God.
You're an action figure. You can touch his gold head there. That didn't come out right. You know what I mean?
No, but yeah, man. Forrest Gump soundtrack is incredible, just absolutely incredible, groundbreaking movie. You know, makes me cry on more than one occasion. You know, it's just fantastic. It was my favorite movie for a long time.
Okay, let's see how good you are. What song is playing when the girl is thinking about jumping off the edge of that building?
That would be Freebird from Leonard Skinner.
He beat me to it. I was going to say that.
Good. Damn.
Oh, and by the way, guys, if y'all didn't realize this in Forrest Gump, the place, the strip club or whatever it is, where he runs across Jenny.
Yeah.
Where she's singing "How Many Roads" from Bob Dylan.
Yeah, it is located on just on the outside of Savannah, and it really is called Love's, like the sign said, but it's not a strip club; it's a restaurant.
Yeah, and it got flooded last week.
Did it really?
Well, the water
right
was
there on
up
the
to because
river.
it was right on the Ageechee, and that came up over the bridge that blocked all of that to Richmond
Lord.
Hill. But I do have a quick story about Forrest Gump. It's a great guy. I think I'm somehow related to him, sort of through my in-laws or something. Well, to whoever my sister's married to, through her husband, and somehow they're related. But Andy Ryan, and he works in the film industry, and he's been in it for probably a couple decades at least. And he was just kind of starting out, I think, when they were filming in Savannah. He was kind of low man on the totem pole in the production. I forgot his exact position. And they were filming in Savannah, and his parents, that was the first movie, his parents got to come and see him on the set, and everybody's excited because Tom Hanks is in town filming some movie called Forrest Gump. So they came to the set and allowed him to watch the scene. And when Tom Hanks found out that his parents were going to be there, he when they were done shooting that particular scene, he invited his dad to come sit in his chair that they have, for him on set and all that. And his dad just thought that was like the greatest thing. And he did that for Andy, and Andy said, he's like, my dad's never been so excited. And he really understood, wow, you really are, making a living at this. Because Tom Hanks, I got to sit in Tom Hanks' chair. But that just tells you how good of a person Tom Hanks is,
I don't know about now. There's some ties to some things.
They haven't proven anything. It's alleged. So,
I
let's not destroy it.
He did move to Greece as soon as those allegations came out.
Yep.
Well, anyway,
that doesn't look very good.
No.
But did you guys like Bosom Buddies?
Bosom Buddies, yeah.
I remember watching that when I was little. Other than they dressed up like women to get to live in that building, I don't really remember like scenes or anything. Just kind of the overall.
The movie he was in, what was it? Not The Bachelor. What was it called? Where he was
Bachelor Party.
Bachelor Party.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
Tawny Katane played the fiance in.
And she was the lady on the hood in the White Snake videos.
Yes,
that she was.
She was frick.
And she dated Dave Coverdale for a while. I don't know what became of it, but
I think they were married for a short while.
That girl's body was she was just so hot. Yeah, oh my God.
She had it going on, but I remember how funny that was,
along with red hair.
And then when not Michael Keaton, Jesus, then he got another film later that was a more serious film. I'm trying to think what Hanks got, and you're just like, that can't be the same guy. It's kind of like Michael Keaton when he went from like comedy to Batman,
Mr. Bomb to Batman.
Yeah.
Gung Ho.
You're like, there's no way he can do that. And then
Beetlejuicy.
Wow. Yeah, that's a overrated film. A film that's a cult classic, I think, is overrated. Beetlejuice.
Uh,
I was
Nah,
not a big fan of
I don't
Beetlejuice.
think it's overrated. I absolutely love Beetlejuice.
me too. I mean,
I enjoy a watch of.
you might have been older.
occasionally.
You were older than us. Maybe you were just at that point where that didn't click.
It could be. I mean, I did like
Now-
the whole Banana Boat song thing. You know,
Yeah.
that was cool. And I don't know. I may go watch the new one, but I'm just not super excited for it. I know a lot of people are. And I'm sure it'll
I
be good.
I will say this: I hated the animated series.
Well,
Yeah.
I usually hated all the animated series that were tied to live action films.
Well,
I hated
yeah,
the Beetlejuice animated series. I hated the
Except Clone Wars.
Ghostbusters animated series.
Back to the Future.
I hated the Mr. T animated series. Like,
Well, I like
there is actually a very good Back to the Future animated series. It's called Rick and Morty.
You're right. Very, very astute.
That's basically what they were based
Yeah.
on.
It is.
Well,
And they even
because
had an
the
animated one.
writers of Rick and Morty had approached Spielberg
Yep.
and Zemeckis about making a Doc and Marty show, and they said no, and they were like, "All right, then we'll troll you instead," and they made Rick and Morty.
Yep.
And the rest is history. Yeah, because there was an animated Back to the Future, I think.
Yeah,
something.
there was. It was after Back to the Future Part 3.
Was there?
it? Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it had Doc Brown's kids, Jules and Vern, in it.
Mm-hmm. And they were flying
Oh, that's
around in
right.
the train.
See, and that's a film you'll never top the original or that trilogy. You know, I know they want to remake it, but they'll never do that. They'll never be able to.
They'll never capture the magic.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just-
100%, man.
recapture.
It's impossible, right? Because that movie is one of the few movies that I consider perfect, right? Now, I will say that, like, in terms of like horror remakes, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, what a waste of Jackie Earl Haley. I think he could have
Yes.
done a great job,
Yes.
but the writing on that film was so bad.
He was
And
such a
and
good
just
actor.
rehashing all the kills from the original was just
And-
a dumb idea.
and
On the other
fact-
hand, I think the remake of Friday the 13th was solid, although they should have started with Pamela again.
Now,
But the kills in that movie, in particular, the fucking the girl in the sleeping bag over the fire, like, oh my god, some of those kills were great.
now Rob Zombie redid Halloween, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah, one of the remakes.
Yeah.
Oh well, he
Reboot,
did. He
whatever.
did two. He did two films in his reboot series.
The last one not the last Halloween, that was terrible, but the one right before that had.
Well, I would say Halloween
that was
2018, the one that
Yeah.
is a direct sequel to the original, is a very solid film.
Yes, it's one of my favorites of the Halloween. And it was, I know some people locally that were in there, and there was a whole scene with the mechanic, an actor friend of mine, another person I interviewed on Savannah on Film when I had the radio show and all. And they cut his whole scene out where he fought. He was the guy in the grease in the thing, and he like faced off with Jason and got mutilated by Jason. But they cut most of that. They just kind of showed him and then just like cut that whole scene out. But it was a pretty good scene from that. But not just because I know people that were in it, but I just thought it was a solid film. And you knew in the end he was going to get out, Jason was, but the sequel to that was just terrible. Or Halloween Ends, is that what it was called?
Well, that was
That
the
was the very
third one
last
in the.
one.
That was the third one.
There was a third? Oh God, they even made a third one? Oh dear.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
the second one was bad, but
Well,
the first
no,
was
there's
good.
one, but there's one really good long take in the second one, where Michael's like walking around while kids are trick or treating and stuff, and he walks through the people's house and kills both of the people inside the house, and it's like you're watching it all through the windows. Now that was a genius long take, but that's the best part of that film, you know.
I thought that
and
was in
it's
the
like-
first one. Was that in the first one or the second one?
I'm pretty sure it's the second one.
Gosh, I got to look that up now because I'm just curious.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it was the second one.
I only remember two of them, the newer ones, but I mean, I could be totally wrong. Let's see.
Yeah, I think it was Halloween Kills because it was Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends.
Yeah.
I mean, if it isn't just
you're
Halloween,
right. Okay, share screen. Here we go. Let's see what I got on IMDb here. Halloween, because there's a 2018 Halloween right here, and then how do you find the ones that go with it?
well, it's Halloween Kills is the second one.
Okay, the second one, Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills. But I know what you're talking about, that shot, and that was a good one. Okay, 2021 was Halloween Kills. They had a short, whatever that is, Halloween Kills fan film. I only see those two. So just the Halloween, I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking at this right.
Well, the third one is called Halloween Ends.
Yeah,
okay.
that was the last one.
Okay, I didn't even see Ends because I think the second one was so bad. There we go. 2022, you're right. Of course you're right. The plot follows outcast Corey Cunningham, who falls in love with Laurie Strode's granddaughter, while a series of events, including crossing paths with Michael Myers, drives him to become a serial killer. Oh, Lord. So did they pass the torch? Halloween, the next generation?
No, because Corey's dead by the end of the film. And he's
okay.
not like mythical like Michael, so he doesn't come back from it.
Yes, and y'all know what makes Michael Myers mythical, right?
That was my next question. What does?
The fact that he's wearing a William Shatner mask.
That's true. That was a William Shatner mask.
Right. He can't get on a plane without seeing gremlins on the wing. You know, there's a genre in anime right now called isekai, where basically, like, you know, the main character gets like hit by a truck and then, you know, gets reincarnated in another world with elves and dwarves and magic and all that sort of shit. I want to see Japan do an isekai anime where it's somebody like Jason or Freddy that gets, like, you know, sent to the new world. You know, like that would be a fucking anime I'd love to watch. This season, the current season running, they just did Isekai Suicide Squad. So it's like the Suicide Squad gets pulled to another world.
Wow.
And it's not bad. It's actually not bad. But yeah, I think it would be hilarious because, like, you know, the people from the other world are trying to summon a hero to like fight the demon lord, and and they wind up pulling Jason Voorhees instead of a hero. And sure, Jason will kill the demon lord, but he's gonna wipe out your kingdom first. You know what I mean? Like,
he's gonna kill everybody,
right? Until there's only Jason left on the planet.
You will die.
While we're mentioning DC and animation at the same time, I recently watched Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1.
I was gonna ask about that.
Well, and Part 2. I think I finished. I started Part 2. I might not have finished it.
Yeah, it was a good
okay.
series.
Do not expect
an
adaptation of the comic story. It takes elements from it and then kind of
makes it better.
No, I ain't gonna say it makes it better.
Better's not the word, right?
Yeah, better's not the word. I mean, it was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but you know, I'm a big fan of that original comic, you know, miniseries or maxi series, whatever you want to call it, the 12 issue.
I did enjoy it though.
It's just like that. I don't know, the Flash. It's like he ended up dying too quickly because there's like 3 parts to it, and I don't know.
You'll die.
Well, honestly, I think the best thing out of DC animation was that Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad one they did.
Was that Assault on Arkham?
Yeah, Assault on Arkham. Where KG Beast like gets his head blown up in like the first few minutes because he doesn't want to do the work and he tries to leave.
All right. Cavemen have our favorites that are like older than that. For me, it's.
I will say this: the only, at least through like the what was it? The Apocalypse War, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Everything up through that, there's only one.
Oh crap! Be back in a minute.
Animated movie out of there that I didn't like, and that was Gotham Knight, where it was like the Animatrix only between Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, and I didn't care for it.
But Gotham by Gaslight was good. You turned
Gotham by
that
Gaslight was really good. The only one I don't hate it, I just don't love it, was Batman Ninja, and I know that's not a popular opinion because most people love
it's
that.
A popular. It's garbage. It is absolute garbage.
I really didn't care for it.
What was that?
Other than that, they were all really good.
You liked that? What was the older one? It was the Older Age or the Silver Age or
shit.
New Frontier.
New Frontier. Yes, that is my favorite.
That was
fantastic film. Fantastic film.
And then
there's an interesting story behind that because Nathan Fillion was contracted to play Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern movie, but Ryan Reynolds stepped up and said he wanted to do it. So Nathan Fillion wound up having to voice Green Lantern in the animations for like 3 movies instead.
Yeah, there were 2 or 3. Yeah.
I
was disappointed because I'm kind of glad he ended up not being in that movie, but I always thought he would have made a good Hal Jordan back in the day.
Well, we're gonna get to see him be Guy Gardner now, so I'm anxious for that.
Some people are excited for it. I'm holding my breath. I just don't want to be let down again, but I don't know.
Well, all the negativity I'm hearing about it come from the set photos, and I'm like, bro, that's not the finished product.
You can't judge.
I'm not in love with the suit, but I feel like I'll like the suit. But to me, one of the best interpretations of Superman is Superman and Lois. That's wrapping up on CW this fall, like 4 seasons.
Well, but here's the thing: when it comes to the suit, right? Because they have like 6 or 7 different suits that he wears depending on what the scene requires. Right now, if it's an action scene, they need a slightly baggier suit so the man can move. Right.
But it depends how it's animated.
Well, I don't think the suit's going to be animated, but
I didn't mean to say animated. CGI, if there's any CGI in it, because they usually CGI the cape in there. It's just easier to CGI a cape in than actually them wearing it. If you ever see Henry Cavill, he never was wearing a cape when they filmed it. They just filmed like the flying scenes and such, and then they CGI the cape in.
Well, I'm anxious to see live action Mr. Terrific. I'm anxious to see Nathan Fillion play Guy Gardner. And the fact that it's James Gunn directing gives me high hopes because James Gunn is he is yet to make a bad comic book movie.
Yeah, I will say this: the only thing that I'm just kind of surprised with the design for the S on the Superman suit that they went with, rather than a more classic one. It's more of that.
Classic.
What is it? The Kingdom Come.
Yeah, well, it's the Kingdom Come S, but with a yellow background instead of a black.
Yeah. And then not like the New 52 suit. I never hated the New 52 suit. I thought it, it kind of makes sense for it to be, partially armor or whatever. But
well, Superman in armor never made sense to me because there's no metal on Earth that's stronger than Superman's skin. And it's like putting Superman in armor just seems like a way to weigh him down unnecessarily.
Yeah,
because if you go by the post-crisis explanation for his invulnerability, it's that his body generated a field
around him,
a little further out from his skin, and that's why
just like Jean Grey
does of the time when he's in a fight, his cape gets shredded, but his uniform or his costume stays mostly intact for the most part. Now, when he was fighting Doomsday, that was a completely different.
Because he basically could punch through that shield.
Basically, not only that, but he basically used up all of his stores of solar radiation. in his fight. He used up so much power in his fight with Doomsday because they were so equally matched.
Well, not to mention Doomsday was designed as a machine for killing Kryptonians.
That too.
Right.
By Kryptonians. As
By
it turns
Krypton.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But honestly, I like see, the reason that I don't really mind the suit so much is because of the Man of Steel explanation for the suit, right? Because the suit itself is Kryptonian, and it's like that was the style of clothes on Krypton.
Right.
You know, so it makes sense. It's not like, you know, it's not like Ma Kent knitted it together for him. You know what I mean? It's you know, he got that thing only after he went to the Fortress of Solitude and met Jor-El. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Son of Jor-El, kneel before Zod.
Oh. Yeah, still my favorite Superman movie.
Superman
I hate it, and I know I've said this before, and I'll say it probably ad nauseum, but you know, I feel bad for Henry Cavill that he never actually got to play Superman.
Right. He got a little bit of screen time.
He got to play a character called Superman, but it wasn't Superman.
It recently came out that had not James Gunn, who did Zack Snyder.
Your favorite director in the universe, Joel Schumacher.
No, not Joel Schumacher. Zack Snyder basically had his complete creative way, we would have gotten a Justice League trilogy of films. And so you would have had basically what we got in the first one, but then you would have had Superman turning bad in the second, and then obviously turning good in the third one. Then you would have got a Man of Steel by the Man of Steel #2. So you would have gone, I think, what did it say? You would have had to go about 15 years through Superman and Justice League films to actually get to the good Superman film at the end. And, you know,
you know what? I don't buy that at all. The guy started with two of the biggest fucking crossovers DC Comics ever had to offer and smashed them into one movie. It's like you don't do the Dark Knight Returns and Superman Doomsday in one film. What the hell is wrong with you?
I agree with that. And a lot of that was the studio interfering, and then obviously we saw what happened with Justice League, and they brought Josh Whedon in and everything.
Well, yeah, but we've also seen like what happens when Zack Snyder's allowed to write a film.
Yeah,
it's garbage.
Like
his only good movies are movies where he used the source material as a storyboard. 300 and Watchmen.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, like, you know, even like Dawn of the Dead, and this is like an unpopular opinion, but like the running zombies make no sense in that. And the only reason he did it was because 28 days later did the running zombies like a year before that. And it's like, dude, 28 days later didn't have zombies. They had infected living people.
Yeah, they had super rabies,
right?
Or
yeah.
But if you're a zombie, then your body is suffering from rigor mortis. There's a reason zombies are slow.
Yeah.
You know, and he just ignored that shit because for aesthetics. You know, I just oh god. And the one, and he's like so overdoing it with slow motion. Right, there's that shot where he does the slow motion shot of Ving Rhames firing a shotgun, and it's like, dude, we don't even see what he's shooting at in that scene. It's just you go slow on him firing it, and then you go back to normal speed, and they're running away.
You almost
like I don't even understand.
You almost get to the point of like the early Transformers films where they were so, you know, transforming like this in your face, and you're like, I can't even tell who the hell.
It's style over substance. That's what Zack Snyder's made of, is style over substance.
And yeah, to go touch back on what you were talking about, Ed, I remember we talking about way back in the day when we were doing the Digital Man Cave podcast.
Yeah,
which is still available. If you Google it, you'll probably find it. You know, it was hard. Other than Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, all the damn Transformers were hard to tell apart in that first movie.
They were. I was like, okay, what's happening? And we literally said after we watched it, and we podcasted about it back in the day, we're like, pull the camera back so I can see what the hell is going on. I don't know who this is. Who is this Transformer?
I really love that first Transformers movie.
Because it was the first one, right?
I mean, the comedy in it is great. The like the parents are hilarious. He's hilarious. Bernie Mac is hilarious.
But by
I
the time
like.
when he goes to college, the parents become annoying. The humor becomes
Well,
more
I wasn't.
forced.
I never said
It's
the
more
second
forced.
one was good. I
Right,
never
right.
said the second one was good.
That's true. You didn't. You didn't.
And I will say this: I kind of wanted to see where they were going to go by what was it? The last night was the last one.
That was
I
terrible.
kind of wanted to see where they were
The
going with the
last night, they
Unicron.
should have called it the last straw.
Oh, that's true. It was not.
But
good.
Bumblebee was such a breath of fresh air. I love
Yeah.
Bumblebee.
But I will tell you this: I think the only real reason Bumblebee hit as hard as it did for Transformers fans was that first like 8 minutes of the movie where it's on Cybertron and you seeing all of your favorite G1 characters looking pretty much like they're like G1.
Right.
And I also didn't get
who was who.
I also didn't understand the romance between the main girl and Bumblebee. It's like, just get a vibrator like a normal girl. If you want fucking machine, all right?
And then
Like, Jesus Christ.
I didn't hate Rise of the Beasts. It was okay. But that's somebody who's not a Beast Wars fan talking.
Right.
I'm not.
I
because
thought
they're
Anthony
supposed to be
Ramos was
robots
good.
in disguise. And I'm sorry, but a robot animal is still a robot.
Right.
Especially the way that they, designed it for that movie. They were robot-looking animals.
Curtis has been trying to get a word in here for like 5 minutes. So,
sorry,
what did you had to say?
Oh, I was going to say that they did the same thing in the cartoon. Power Glide fell in love with a girl, and she fell in love with him.
Oh yeah.
It was just
somebody else did that. Beachcomber did that too, didn't he? When he found like the Golden Lagoon or whatever.
I think so. I'm trying to remember. I think so.
I mean, I do want to see what their children look like.
Well, I thought
they look like the Borg. That's where the Borg came
in Rise
from.
of the Beast. I thought Anthony Ramos was a kind of breath of fresh air to the whole franchise. I liked his story within there, and the end credit scene where it's supposed to go over to G.I. Joe or cross over. Whether that happens or not, it's been more than a couple of years.
See, but the other human character was the polar opposite. I'm sorry, but you've got this fucking intern, and she's like smarter than all the fucking experienced people that work at the museum, and she has access to all the shit with no restrictions whatsoever. She's an unpaid intern. They're not gonna let her touch anything important.
True.
Like, I'm sorry, but if you're an unpaid intern at the museum, you're fucking mopping the floor.
I've been on the film set, and you're right.
Like, what the hell is that garbage?
That
was another one of those, inserted girl power fucking characters that like really made no sense.
Oh, we got somebody. C Toys in the. Oh,
Crazy Toys. Crazy Toys is here. Yeah.
Crazy Toys just disappeared. Where are you, Crazy Toys? Come back.
He does that. His thing pops in and out.
Yeah, he does that. And
he's gonna
pop on and he's just gonna pop on and show us the little acrylic Dragon Ball thing he got it.
Well, as long as he hits subscribe and thumbs up for that video.
Yeah, he's been on our shows the last few nights, I guess.
There's no shame.
Yeah. He's C Toys is great, man. I make fun of his Dragon Ball love, but I do love him. He's great.
Does he want? Should I let him in if he wants to come in and talk?
Yep.
Oh, I'll do it. Well, come on back, C Toys.
Yeah, and Bigum is in there too.
Bigum, okay. Well, Bigum, if you want to come on camera.
Bigum, what up?
Just throw if you want to do that, man. Just throw the link out there.
Shout out to Digital Caveman in the chat.
Oh, where do I get the link, by the way?
Woohoo!
Hey, Caveman, help me out here.
Oh man, I emailed it to you. You emailed? Did I? No, I sent it to you in a text.
Well, damn, that sucks.
Well, no, Ed, look at the top of your screen. If you're on StreamYard, the top of your screen has your StreamYard link. Just copy and paste that into the YouTube chat.
It does. It just says
anybody will be able to click on it.
It says edit, and then it's got that.
No, in your address bar at the top of the screen, not on the
Hey.
top of the email.
Oh,
Check-
you're
Check the private chat.
Copy.
Check
Okay.
the private chat.
Well,
I'll
no,
put it in there for
you gotta paste it onto the YouTube chat, not the private
Okay.
chat. The people.
Well,
on
I
YouTube
can't
see a
post
private
it in
chat.
the. I can't post
Right.
it in the
Well,
regular.
he can
Well,
go to
only
the
Ed
bottom.
can. He's
But he
the
can.
guy
There it
running
is.
the stream.
Okay.
He's the only one that can post
All
it.
right, I'm gonna put it out there, and let's regret it later. I did say open stream. I made a mistake.
Yeah, or you can go to the bottom and go to invite.
There it is.
Invite. Boom.
All right, come in, and it's anything goes. So say what you want, but I want you to know this is a safe space for Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh my God.
Well, I need to leave then.
Yeah,
I need to leave then.
too.
We are all supporting her retirement.
You're gonna go from 2 views to 0.
-2, just like the Star Wars trilogy did.
Right. Thumbs down on this video.
No, you don't need any thumbs.
Dang.
I don't need the thumbs down. I need.
Oh, is that the animation trap jaw?
Yeah.
He's got no face.
Yes, he green screened out.
There's a hole in his head.
Look,
That's funny.
I hate it when that happens.
Don't.
where's my face? I can see through your head. It exploded.
Skeletor took it.
I lost comments. Oh, there's comments. Where's
You got eyes on this one.
private chat? Oh, okay, there we go. Anyway,
Oh, let's see. Oh, I got a FedEx package coming. Let's see what it is.
what is it?
That's
What
what I'm
is
trying
it?
to see.
It's one of your new videos. One of your
Yeah,
last
I'm
videos,
shipping
video.
myself a video on FedEx.
You say not a video. You know what I mean.
Right. I'm just kind of surprised that you got your package in the mail. I was born with mine.
And I thought,
It's the Black Series Super Battle Droid.
Hey, dad
Ooh.
jokes on my bread and butter, man.
That's what she said.
I'm getting a robotic package.
Oh, it requires batteries.
Going Borg, I'm gonna be assimilated.
I bet you are.
Reminds me of that song "Detachable Penis." Do you guys remember that song?
No,
No.
I don't think
That's the one. Was that the one my priest was trying to teach me?
Yes, when you're an altar boy.
Yeah, I was too ugly to be hit on. Nope. Well, this is my most unusual stream. Here's something from we got a comment from Big M. I got in the KO of the Revolve Tech.
Revel Tech Agent Venom.
Today. It is
Wow, for $17.
Dang.
That's it. That is a deal, man.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. Those Revel Tech, I'm leery of those. I'm afraid to try one. The articulation, it comes out too far. The parts.
I'm a little slow. So what
I don't
KO
know.
stand for?
Knockoff.
Knockoff. Oh, okay.
He got a Temu.
Is that something you can show us on
Wish
screen?
Ollie.
Big M, do you want to come on camera and show us that, or no? Doesn't work that way. Or
Yeah,
no pressure. If you want to,
click the link.
I mean, he can, but Big M's usually a chat guy only. He doesn't usually come on the stream.
No pressure, Big M. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and thumbs up. And
Yeah, Big M's in
leave me in your will.
Our Midwest Triangle.
Your Midwest Triangle. Yeah, we've got too much South in this podcast, so I wanted to bring some Midwest sensibilities.
Hey, well, I'm from Chicago, the butthole of America.
He wanted something north of the Mason-Dixon line.
I wanted something with less twang. Bless your heart.
From Detroit.
My whole life, y'all, I've been saying to people, bless your heart. I really honestly took it literally because I'm a literal person. So I would be saying to people, well, bless your heart. Apparently that's a criticism from the South. I didn't know that growing up my whole life.
Especially when grandma said it.
It's kind of like someone's way of calling you simple.
Right? Well, I've been calling people simple for a long time.
It's like you say something dumb and the old lady goes, "Oh, well, bless your heart."
Yeah.
All right. Big M says Agent Vim has enough body armor on that it covers the gaps. I'm in bed. I leave for work at 4:30. Oh, I'm glad he put periods there. I was like, what? It covers the gaps. I'm in bed. I was like, what? It's not
right.
that
He's
kind
got
of
the
podcast.
punctuation correct, but not the capitalization.
And K-Man says, thanks for tuning in, my friend.
Yes.
Big M, we appreciate you. Next time, tell everybody it's your mission in life to make sure everybody you know likes, subscribes.
Because only you forest fires.
Only you. That's you. You right there. Only you. So you've got that.
Only viewers like you make this programming possible.
That's why I got anxiety as a kid, because only I could prevent forest fires. I'm like, we're screwed.
Yeah.
I was changing a light bulb and had to put 2 Band-Aids on my hand tonight. Okay.
Oh Lord, I ran across the Instagram reel I should have sent Curtain Prophet. It was a wrestler that he was dressed up like Michael Jackson. He was doing like Michael Jackson dance moves in his wrestling moves. It was funny as hell.
Wow.
He's like had a guy in a headlock and he was doing the moonwalk backwards. Like,
oh, by the way, I invited my friend Scott
elbowed him in the
on
back
tonight, but he told me it was wrestling night, so he couldn't come on. So
AEW's on tonight, which
AEW. So
it looked like it was good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not an AEW guy, man. I like WWE and
Sasha Banks.
And that's about it, man.
I got to get him in here so he could. I wish he could show you all of his. I might have to go up there and like video his stuff that he's got. He's got like a lot of the figures, and he told me people's names, but I don't remember them. But I might start watching wrestling again. I could be coerced into it.
I mean, AEW does have one wrestler that I am a fan of. He goes by Orange Cassidy. He like mocks his opponents by wrestling with his hands in his pockets. It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny. He's pretty good at it too.
Hey,
Yeah,
somebody
he really is, man.
Somebody thinks I would be a great optician.
I like Dr. Britt Baker.
A great mortician.
Awesome
No.
She's really
And she's a dentist in real life too, so she actually is a doctor.
Yeah.
You could be a dentist. What movie is that from?
And
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, Sasha Banks is there right now.
I love that
And
movie.
I Am Your Dentist.
I Am Your. Oh, they
And
changed
it's
it.
Steve Martin.
Damn it!
Look at my
It's that Mandela effect again.
The motorcycle riding dentist who was a badass.
We should do whatever year that came out. That's going to be in one of my top.
There's
films.
a line in the song where he says you'll be a dentist because he's talking about what his parents told him.
Thank you.
Yeah, he gets he has the scene with Bill Murray is hilarious. Where Bill Murray's a masochist and he likes the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. But yeah, man, Little Shop of Horrors is fantastic.
Always think about that I Am Your Dentist song when dealing with Dr. Mindbender.
Yes.
Dr. Mindbender.
Right. See, Ed, we can't really talk about the stuff we normally talk about with you because you don't collect toys, so you don't know what you.
Yes, he doesn't collect
lost.
toys.
I don't collect toys. I collect people.
He's not that familiar with the lore of like Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Other than did you see the other night when I was showing off my G.I. Joe album that I had?
Yeah.
My read along.
Yeah, but that predates a real American hero, so it's not like the G.I. Joe we're all collecting.
So it's the real G.I. Joe is what you're trying to tell me.
No, it's just
it's the old G.I. Joe. It's Action Man.
To us, a real American hero is G.I. Joe.
I know.
The characters created during the original O-Ring era.
The one with the Kung Fu grip.
The ones that Larry Hama wrote all the file cards for.
Yes, every single friggin' one of them. On top of writing every single issue of the Marvel comic, and then the continuation of that in what was it, IDW?
Right. Man, yeah, Larry Hama. Like, honestly, if they want to make a good G.I. Joe movie, it's simple. Just take Larry Hama's comic book and use it as your storyboard.
Yep.
Cool. Hey guys, I don't want to. I'm not trying to send you guys away, but I know y'all had another stream to be on. So if y'all feel y'all need to go, that's cool. And then if you want to send me the link, I'll hop over to that stream too. Just putting that out there in parentheses.
It's the Kaz show. Kaz.
Wait a minute. Let me check it and see what's going on over there first.
Right.
That's your assignment.
If he's got all the crazies on, then I'm not gonna bother going over there.
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's probably all the Kamala people, right?
Oh no.
I'll just leave it at that.
It's people from other countries and
Let's see. I can't tell who all's on there.
All right, so he's got with the exception of Daredevil, this is all people from his rap community, not his toy community.
Okay, yeah, no.
Oh.
So I'm gonna stay
thumbnail.
over here.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna stay over here.
Wow. That means you like me. You really like me.
Well, I'd rather talk movies with Ed than rap with fucking, a bunch of people who drop N-bombs every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well,
I mean, they're black people, but it's still, I don't want to hear the N-bomb regardless of your color.
I don't either. I don't like that word. But,
I don't like any of the racist words because it just causes trouble.
Yeah, I don't want trouble.
Well, here in Chicago, there's a thing where like if your black friends like you, they call you the N-word, right?
Right.
So whenever they do that to me, I fuck with them and I call them cracker.
Oh, throw some honky in there too, man.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh gosh, that brings back the memories of the Jeffersons, man. I learned all about jive turkeys and honkies from watching the Jeffersons.
I was growing up. We were not really a fan of All in the Family, but I remember growing up watching the Jeffersons. I grew up watching Good Times. I can still watch this.
And not the all.
I don't know. Maybe it was when that came out versus the Jeffersons came a little bit later. So I was a little bit. I'm still young, but I was a little older.
The thing about it in our area, Ed, the Jeffersons aired in the afternoons and early evenings when there was nothing else on to watch. And
I don't remember honestly.
Sanford and Son.
I watched my Sanford and Son to death.
Sanford and Son.
Good Times.
Good times. What's happening? And
I feel like I feel like I need to defend Archie Bunker just a little bit here, right? Because Archie Bunker did say a lot of stupid racist crap, but in every instance where he was faced with real physical racism out in the world, he did the right thing. Like there's an episode where he's at the grocery store and a guy from his Moose Lodge or whatever like sees him there because Archie's talking to his maid, and his maid is a black woman. And the guy at the grocery store is like, "Oh, Archie, I didn't know you were doing that kind of stuff." And he uses the N-word and stuff. And Archie knocks the fucking guy on his ass.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "You're finished in the Moose Lodge. I'm going to have you kicked out." He's like, "I don't care. You don't talk to people like that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, it was nothing against All in the Family. It's just I feel like that was just a little bit too soon for me to grasp it. But Norman Lear, all those shows he did, you couldn't do them these days. And I wish we could have shows that were that honest on all sides of things like he did. And he did present. Yeah, Archie Bunker was like your uncle or your dad that might have been racist, but you could see why he wasn't one-dimensional. You could see why he felt that way.
Well, see, that's just it. I don't think that Archie was racist. I think Archie Bunker used language that he grew up hearing, right? But when it came down to it, and actions needed to speak louder than words, he always did the right thing.
And I think that was, I think that was the premise of the show, to take this guy who looks super racist and show that everybody can get along, or
But it was fun pushing the buttons, and they pushed it on both sides of it. But
Yeah,
seeing him kind of squirm a little bit was good to see that,
George wasn't so.
because
Oh,
George
no.
was, he was pro-black, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just like Archie
It was
was
the kids that were
pro-white.
together on both sides. The kids were together on both sides.
And I always loved the Willises.
Right.
I mean,
But
that
that's
was
the thing,
probably
because George and Archie were best of friends.
Yeah.
Right? They talked a lot of shit to each other, but they
were good
have
friends.
each other's backs like nobody's business.
Right.
Yeah, because they were next door neighbors and all in the family until the Jeffersons got their spinoff show.
Yeah, and their
Right.
kids.
But I
were-
mean, George got invited to, like, or Archie got invited to George's kid's wedding. It's
Yeah.
like,
He did. And there was that thing where he kind of ended up, don't talk to you. And somebody said you're mammy, and that was not something you would say. And the mother Jefferson, she was too hilarious in that show. And you could tell that she loved George, and nobody was good enough for her George. And it was just so funny. I mean, the dynamics, the writing on the Jeffersons was just so great. And it was just so lively.
They
And so
did
comical.
Edith, though, at the end was kind of bad. They had to cut her, so they killed her off, and it just wasn't. That was a
Yeah.
That was a tear jerky. If you watch it, you're gonna.
One of the most,
Sure.
and I may have not appreciated how important a show it was or understood when I was young, but I think doesn't Edith get raped or almost raped or something? And I can't think of the actress. I can't think of her name. But she did such a great role in that she's trying to keep it together the way she is. And Archie was being different ways, like he always is with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she had her breaking point. It was like a really powerful episode. And I remember a lot of really good episodes. And I loved Edith. I mean, who didn't love Edith? And when Archie was spewing a bunch of crap out of his mouth, and you knew it was crap, Edith would just come in there and she'd have something that just would undercut what he said and, make sense, and bring Archie around.
Unlike the daughter, Sally Struthers, who went on to do all those pro Africa
Feed the Ethiopian commercials.
Right. Yeah, the Ethiopia commercials where she'd be like, please donate to these starving kids. Every 2 sandwiches you send, one is for me and one is for the kids.
Yeah. I love that South Park.
South Park, yeah. Well,
Right.
the guy that played not Carl Reiner, Rob Reiner. It's funny to look at him. When I found out years later, I didn't know that Meathead was actually him. And I saw him in other stuff. I was like, that's not the same guy. And I'm like, oh my God, it was. And they seem like it's a different character he's playing, but totally different people, it seemed like.
Dude, his political stuff is way nuts, way off nuts. He's a nut job on the political stuff.
I don't know if I agree with
He's
you.
He's been on Bill Maher a lot, and Bill Maher's even like, what the fuck?
Right. If Bill Maher's saying you're too far left, man, you might be.
You just might be.
Well, he's been.
Look, let's not get into politics. Let's keep it.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, you guys, what's your favorite stoner film?
Oh, that's easy for me. It's Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, I love that one. And then there was another one that came out around the same time, and I cannot remember the name of it.
We just talked about Cheech and Chong, and no one said Cheech and Chong yet?
No, not Cheech and
Okay.
Chong.
No, Cheech and Chong is down the list for me, man. Because for me, it goes Dazed and Confused, then Half Baked with Dave Chappelle.
That's the one I was thinking of,
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle. That
And
might
then
be
ranked
my
number
favorite.
3 is Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
There was one. I cannot remember the damn name of it, but it was they drove the 2 dudes drove a car like the Mirthmobile from Wayne's World.
Is it
Dude
Who Stole My Car?
No, it's not Dude, Where's My Car? That's
Dude, Where's My
not.
Car?
That's Aliens. And the soundtrack for it heavily featured Blue Oyster Cult. And it's like they got high. They got high and they were listening to Blue Oyster Cult, and there was this montage of eyeballs. God dang, what was the name of that movie? I cannot remember it. It was funny though.
Let me take a look real quick.
I wouldn't say it was like my favorite one, but it was funny.
Who was in it again?
I don't know. I think it was like some no name
Uh,
folks. Or at least they were at the time. I don't remember.
The
I mean,
Stoned Age. It's
Stoned.
called the
Yeah,
Stoned
there
Age.
you go. Not like I said, it's not my favorite one, but it was a pretty funny one, and it came out right around the same time as Dazed and Confused. At least that's when I saw it.
Yeah, the only actor I recognize from this cast list is Taylor Negron, who played like a gay like designer in like every movie he's ever been in.
Let's go smoke one on the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Oh, another one that I put above the Cheech and Chong movies is Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, Grandma's Boy is hilarious.
I don't know if I've seen that.
No,
That-
what about
They
that-
said that monkey was
that's
dangerous.
not-
He was biting every damn body.
What about that 70s show?
That's not a movie.
That's a TV show, not a film, man.
Yeah, I know, but what about it? What do you guys think about it?
I never watched it straight through. I've caught an
neither.
episode of it here and there. I was working a lot when that was on, and never, like set up.
No, I really liked it. I thought
Stuff to
Donna
record
was
it,
really
but-
hot. I thought Donna's
Oh,
mom
yeah.
was even hotter.
Yes. They got stoned at it all the time.
I thought Eric's sister was really hot.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Red was always going to put his foot up somebody's ass.
Yep. He still is in the new ones.
Yeah, I gotta check those out and see if they are. I don't know if y'all remember how big a Star Trek fans you guys are, but he was in a 2-part episode in Star Trek Voyager where he was the master of the time ship or whatever it was. What was that?
Yeah.
Year of Hell, part 1 and 2. And he was the guy behind all, and I kept remember, I'm gonna put my foot up time's ass. I kept expecting him to say that.
Well, my favorite movie with that actor, the actor that played Red, is RoboCop, hands down.
Yes.
RoboCop, yes.
RoboCop.
I work for Dick Jones. Dick Jones.
Yeah, Kurtwood Smith. That's the actor, Kurtwood
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
So he worked for Dick Jones.
Yes, he did work for Dick Jones.
Dick Jones, played by Ronnie Cox, also in
Dick Jones, played by Ronnie Cox.
No,
yes,
it-
yes. Dick
Ronnie-
Jones was
Ronnie
played by
Cox.
Cox.
Ronnie Cox was the guy in charge of OCP.
Was he a
the guy
sucker?
but he was also in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Total Recall.
Okay.
Yes. And he was also, for 2 episodes, Captain Picard's replacement, Captain Jellicoe,
He was Captain
And-
Jellicoe.
in Star Trek The Next Generation.
I think I appreciate Jellicoe a
he
lot
was
more now.
and he was the chief of police in Beverly Hills Cop 1.
Yeah.
He
Sure
was
was.
Taggart and Rosewood's boss.
And 2, right?
Yeah. That guy did a
They
lot
didn't
of
they kill him in number 2, or did they kill him in number 2?
He got a lot
They
of
tried to
character
kill him.
actor work in the
Mhm.
80s for sure.
Yeah, he was in a ton of shit.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have his daughter in this new Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh shit! And guys, I don't know if y'all realize this or not. I didn't realize this the other day. The guy that played the sergeant or captain or whatever he was on Chips.
Yeah.
He is Chris Pine's daddy.
I knew that.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. I found that out a few years
I read
ago.
that and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Now you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly,
I
all
always
I
remember
remember about
Poncherello.
Chips is the
I remember-
2 main characters, Eric Estrada and the other guy.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
the
remember
best- the
Ponch, but what was his character's name? I don't even remember. John?
Ponch-
Some-
Ponch and John. Yeah.
Ponch and John.
Until they changed John out one time.
And just think about that. That was growing up. What a great series Chips was. The movie they did was terrible, by the way.
Yes.
Horrible, atrocious, kind of like Dukes of Hazzard, the remake or whatever. But What a great freaking theme song, man. We had
That's
like
what I was
the
going to
70s
say.
had the best.
The most
70s and 80s had
memorable
the
part
best.
about Chips. There's two most memorable parts about Chips, and that number one is the theme song, and number two is the massive 10,000 car pileups in every episode.
And I used to think I never want to go to LA because it's too dangerous to get on the highway.
You know what the other thing is memorable about it is after that went off the air, or after the next, usually, well, over here, the next show to come on was BJ McKay and his best friend Bear.
Oh, BJ
and the Bear. Oh yeah, I watched that. I remember.
What a horrible nickname to have.
Oh god.
Right, because honestly, that's the last thing you want to try to do is give a BJ to a bear.
But you know, I mean, I hope he had a better CB handle than BJ.
I'm sure he had a handle, all right.
BJ McKay and my best friend Bear.
Yeah, I remember that one. And it was what was it? The very last season of it, he traveled around with a bunch of women who lived in the back of his truck.
I don't remember that, but probably.
Now, one of the greatest, like in the 80s, one of the greatest theme songs, and I remember watching the show, I watched probably all of it, was the freaking Fall Guy, The Unknown Statement. I love that song, and that was Lee Majors Bad Enough singing it.
Oh, yes.
But when I watched the movie, the movie was good.
Was great.
The movie was good, but they should have not even associated with the Fall Guy. It had nothing to do with it other than having Lee Majors show up, and I was like, yes. 80-year-old, yes. 80 plus.
And I want to say the last time Lee Majors showed up in something prior to that was in the TV show Human Target.
He was in Scrooged, remember?
Human Target was after Scrooged.
No, I know, but you remember Scrooged. He was in Scrooged. He was Santa's whatever. They were fighting terrorists or something. And
well, if you want to talk about a great television show from the 80s that ended too quick because the main star died, Voyagers. It was about a guy who would travel through time to fix cracks in history, but he lost his guidebook, so he picked up this kid who was like a genius in history and brought him with him.
I think I remember that. I feel
and it only went for like a season and a half because the star of the show died.
Well, that's
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I don't know that I've ever even heard of that one.
I'm gonna pull that up while y'all talk. Let's see, Voyagers.
Yeah, it was an amazing show. I loved it as a kid, and I hated when it was gone. Man, it was it was kind of like Time Bandits if it was a little more family friendly.
Right.
You are good, sir. 82 to 83. Let me share this. Presenting, sharing screen. Can y'all see that? Voyagers, 1982 to 83. A member of the League of Time Travelers and a void travel through time, repairing eras in world history.
Yeah, right. So instead of 7 midgets, you got one hot guy. But other than that, it was like Time Bandits.
I remember that logo. I will say that.
Yeah, the show was amazing, man. It was really, really good.
Wow, I do remember that now.
Oh Lord, do y'all remember that syndicated show?
I don't remember it at all.
Time Tracks.
No.
I remember this dude.
Con. I will avenge you.
I remember that guy. I remember that actor from something.
Yeah, go back one frame. Go back one frame.
Yes, sir.
Wait, one more. Wait, one more. No, I guess it's one more after this.
Ed Begley Jr.
Ed Begley Jr. There you go. Now, this episode in particular, they went back to help the Wright brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Wright brothers were having trouble getting their first flight to happen on time because something had happened, and they had gone back to help the Wright brothers. But that was kind of what the show was like, right? And there was one episode where they went back to Pompeii because somebody needed to he died in 84.
He did. I think he got shot or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe it was supposed to be a blank in the gun.
He was seen
Like
as
it
the
was an
next big
on-set
thing.
accident.
I remember that happening to somebody else. God, the theme song was Hero. Oh God, what was that show?
Oh gosh, he turned down. He was supposed to. He reportedly turned down opportunities to appear in such shows as Dukes of Hazzard, 1979, and Chips, 1977, and many daytime soap operas before finally making his debut in the TV series Voyagers in '82 as the time traveler Phineas Bogg. He was then cast as Tyler Burnett alongside Joan Collins in Making of a Male Model. I don't know about that. And ex-Green Beret Mac Harper in Cover Up in '84. However, on October 12th, 1984, after a long and draining day shooting on the set of Golden Opportunity, 1984, Hexum became bored with the extensive delays and jokingly put a Prop 44 Magnum revolver to his temple and pulled the trigger. Holy, I do remember this. The gun fired and the wadding from the blank cartridge shattered his skull, whereupon the mortally injured Hexum was rushed via ambulance to Beverly Hills Medical
So
Center.
the shell like just destructed him.
Wow. To undergo extensive surgery. Despite 5 hours of work, the chief surgeon described the damage to Hexum's brain as life-ending. 1 week later, on October 18th, he was taken off life support and pronounced dead. However, his commitment to organ donation meant that 5 other lives were assisted or saved with organs harvested for him. He was 26 years old. Holy moly. I do remember that.
And I want to say, dang, I think Golden Opportunity is a show I'm thinking of. Maybe it was like it had the da 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 da. I need a hero was the theme song.
That's Holding Out for Hero by
Oh,
Footloose.
okay. Well,
And that would have been 84. That wouldn't have happened
Footloose, no,
before
it wasn't
84.
on Footloose.
No,
I'm telling you, it was a theme song.
Holding Out for a Hero was by Bonnie Tyler. It was one of the hits off the Footloose soundtrack from 1984. So,
but I'm saying it
had
was
to have
also
happened.
the opening theme.
Yeah,
for
Bonnie
the
Tyler
They
had
might
a
have-
couple of movie hits back then because she.
But I'm
also
saying
had
that what they
Totally
might
Good for the
after
Heart and
Footloose,
Top
they
Gun.
might have used that song in that show. I'm not, but that was 80. Would have been Cover Up. Excellent. Oh,
Maybe that Cover Up might be the show. Click on that.
well, that's where it happened on. A fashion photographer and a veteran special forces soldier posing as her model go on intelligence missions around the world.
Yeah, I
Renee
think
Larson.
that's it.
Probably is.
And then after he died, I think they just replaced him.
Back then, I was
An
watching
actor.
like Cheers and Night Court.
Hunter.
Richard Anderson. Oh my gosh, that's Oscar Goldman. Dun, dun, dun. Oscar Goldman.
Oh, you guys remember that short-lived show Sledgehammer?
Yeah,
That was a spoof
Sledgehammer.
cop show.
Yeah, I remember it. I remember it. Yeah, there were a lot of like short-lived shows back then, like Automan and Manimal.
Oh yeah,
I watched
Automan,
both of those.
Manimal,
Automan
yeah.
was cool.
I don't know what that one was.
Like Manimal was great because the guy would like turn into a cat and then like walk in and put his head in the hot lady's shirt and like, while he's a cat and she didn't suspect anything. Like
Automan was kind of like Tron in reverse.
Yeah, and like
It was like the
the
computer-generated
car.
person came into the real world.
Oh, okay.
Right.
yeah,
right.
yeah, his car was very cool,
Yes, it could do 90-degree turns.
just like a light cycle.
Yep.
Man, you remember V?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, V was
Well-
an amazing miniseries, the first one at least.
The two,
And then they
there
had
was
the
two
TV show.
miniseries, and then there was the TV series.
They tried to bring it back later. It was like it might have been in the 2000s.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, because they had Marina Baccarin as Diana,
Mhm. Yeah.
Deadpool's girlfriend. It
The
was
last,
Diana in
like,
the remake.
4 or 5 episodes were really, really good, and then it got cut.
And, yeah, and then it was just like bloop, no more. Sorry.
Like, whoa, wait a minute, you just got
Oopsies.
And it had one of the hottest women in like CW television. What's her name? She
Supergirl.
played Supergirl
yeah,
on
Smallville.
on Smallville.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vandervoort.
Laura
Van-
Vandervoort.
Vandervoort.
Laura
Yeah.
Vandervoort. Yeah,
But,
she's gorgeous. That
You know,
woman is beautiful.
Marina Baccarin is married to the guy who played Jim Gordon on Gotham.
Right, and she cheated on her current husband to be with him, and I'm sure she's cheated on Gordon a few times
probably.
too. Once
Probably.
a cheater, always a cheater. But when you're as hot as Marina Baccarin,
Yeah.
I'm sure opportunities are presenting themselves nonstop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You
People can only avoid
because
temptation so long.
well, and that's the thing, right? Because men have it different. Like men, all what is it? Bill Burr said all men are programmed to bang 80% of the women that they meet. Right. The problem is the women won't let them. Right. We're not Tiger Woods. We don't get off the golf course and there's a busload of Swedish swimsuit models going,
exactly.
hey, let me have some,
Yeah.
The guy at Home Depot wants to bang just as much as a celebrity, but,
Right.
wars on into lumber.
Yes, but they definitely like wood.
Only if it's attached to money.
Uh,
That's what the bear told me.
Yeah, but the 80s just it had so many good television shows, so many amazing things popped up in the 80s. I remember watching Cheers and having a crush on Shelley Long, and then The Money Pit came out, and I love that movie, just because Shelley Long was in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a young teenager, I had no idea what it was like to remodel a house or how much money was involved and the ins and outs of real estate. They were all foreign concepts to me at the time, and I was just yelling at Tom Hanks. I'm like, dude, you got Shelley Long, man. Just obey. Just do what you need to do.
Obey. Obey.
And God, there was another movie that she was in. I cannot remember the name of it. It was probably around, the time, right around the time she left Cheers.
Well, she was in one of Curtis's picks for this year. She was in Caveman.
Yeah.
Opposite Ringo Starr.
And she was a gold digger, and her husband died, and just the line that she says at the funeral that's stuck with me over the years. She was like, well, he died happy. He came and then he went.
She was in Troop Beverly Hills.
Yeah,
Maybe that was it.
I was about to say that one. Yeah. Troop Beverly Hills.
Yeah, she played like a filthy rich lady, whose daughter, I guess, was in the Girl Scouts, and she became a troop leader and took the, kind of altered the Girl Scouts into being completely useless fashionistas instead of crafty young women who were actually learning skills.
And then I don't know what happened to her after that. I don't recall her in anything after that. But then she got replaced by what's her name? And Cheers.
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley.
Was Kirstie Alley as good, or I don't think people
I thought she was. I thought she was.
I never liked Kirstie Alley.
Later, she got chunky. But...
Oh yeah.
So
I thought she was gross while she was skinny.
So your Prophet's Kirstie Alley is also your Sammy Hagar, right? In that analogy, replacing the David Lee Roth, replacing Shelley Long.
Yeah, similar, very similar.
Yeah,
absolutely.
very similar.
If you're gonna replace Shelley Long, you need to get someone better than Shelley Long, not someone who's 10 steps below Shelley Long.
Yeah.
Not only that, but she had zero chemistry with Ted Danson Sam.
Yeah,
you know
that
what I mean?
is true.
Now, a good replacement on Cheers, Woody Harrelson was a good replacement for Coach.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I had no problem with Woody Harrelson replacing Coach.
Woody
But
Harrelson.
Kirstie Alley, like, you know, because she like bought the bar out from under Sam and then like undermined him at every turn. It's like, look, we understand you own the place. Like, go ahead and lord your power over everybody.
Was that Kathleen Kennedy's first job?
Right. No, back then Kathleen Kennedy was silently biding her time. She's like, I'm going to go ahead and play nice with Stephen and George. And when
Steven's
I'll
the
usurp
one
their life's work and ruin it.
Stephen's the one that
bitch.
suggested to George, "Hey, you need to take Kathleen Kennedy. She'll do great by your legacy."
Right.
And I bet you George is like, "Really, Stephen? You owe me big time."
Right? She fucking destroyed his legacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She threw all of his work in the trash and just fucking did
that
her
makes
own
you
thing.
that makes you wonder, what the hell did George Lucas ever do to her?
Exactly. Well, you know, the thing is, true Star Wars fans will never forgive them for not putting the original trilogy people, the legacy actors, putting them all together at least in one freaking scene in at least one of those three movies.
Well, look, I've said this on many occasions. I only needed one thing to enjoy the sequel trilogy. I needed Han and Luke together, and Han saying, "How we doing?" and Luke saying, "As same as always," and Han going, "That bad, huh?"
Yeah.
Like, if you'd have given me that, I would have forgiven so much more.
Yeah.
Right? But they they hated the original stuff so much that it wasn't enough for them to kill Luke off in Last Jedi. They had to kill Mark Hamill again in Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
Because he was the alien that got beheaded by Kylo Ren in the beginning of the fucking movie. You remember the guy who gives them the stuff and they say, "How can we repay you?" And he says, "Win the war." That was Mark Hamill.
How do you know that?
The next time you see that character, his head's being dropped on the table in the First Order, like
I never saw that. I never saw that was Luke. Where do you get that from?
It wasn't Luke.
That
per se,
character
it
was
just Mark
voiced by
Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Oh, it was voiced by him. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so technically it was okay. It was Mark Hamill.
That was one of those secret.
Yeah. Well, but that's what I'm saying. They needed to kill him twice.
And Harrison Ford was the one. He finally got his way. He's like, "Well, we'll make it more powerful if Kylo kills me," because really he's been wanting to kill Han forever.
Yeah.
And so they said, "Okay."
Yeah, and Abrams was just like, "Oh, great! That gives us the old mentor that dies. Now we can completely duplicate A New Hope."
Yeah.
Frame for frame.
To be honest, though, at the time when they were after the debacle of The Last Jedi, Abrams, I feel, had a superhuman amount of pressure on him to right the ship, and in the end, he didn't do a great job. I give him a little credit for trying, but it's kind of like I give more credit to Opie Taylor, Ron Howard. For coming in and basically reworking all of Rogue One to make Solo to make Solo better.
But here's the thing, right? We had like the fans fucking losing their minds. We want the Snyder cut. We want the Snyder cut. Where's my Lord and Miller cut of Solo? Give me the Lord and Miller cut. I want to see what they would have done with it. Because they were the guys who did the Lego movie, and that was hilarious.
Yeah,
the Lego movie was great, but it's awesome.
Everything is awesome except for the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
When you're part of the team. Yeah, exactly,
dude. And Rise of Skywalker is the biggest fucking insult to Star Wars fans. It was the biggest insult until the Acolyte came out.
Well, you said, well, did you see?
Look, here's a missed opportunity like never before, right? So you've got Kylo. He just got beat by Rey. He just got healed by Rey, and he's sitting on that ship. And who appears to him? Fucking Han, someone with no fucking force powers whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they had established in the last movie that force projecting yourself across the universe exerts so much energy that it will kill you, right? Because Luke died from that very thing.
Right.
So why not have it be Leia that appears before him and make that the reason she died? Right? Why? It's all because of some fucking woke nonsense. Oh, it's offensive. It's like Carrie Fisher herself said, go ahead and use my likeness. It'd be nice for my daughter to get a paycheck from my corpse. Right? So the fact that they were like unwilling to do it because they thought it was offensive, in spite of the fact that the woman herself said, go ahead and do it.
Right.
It just goes to show the fucking ego of Hollywood is just fucking unbearable at this point.
Curtis, what thoughts do you have about it? Do you have any thoughts?
I didn't like it.
There you go. That says it all.
I will tell you this: the only thing I liked about the Rise of Skywalker is that Lando Calrissian got a last hoorah.
Yeah.
And what a waste of a hoorah it was, man.
But still, it was
they just illustrated how old he had gotten. And I'm sorry, but that fucking sand skiff chase where they're like, they fly now? It's like Abrams thinks he invented jetpacks on Stormtroopers.
Oh, no, I'm not.
He genuinely thinks he invented that shit. It's like, dude, the fucking clones had fucking jetpacks.
Oh, yeah.
Rebels, the TV show, showed the Empire with jetpacks before A New Hope even takes place. And here this jackass is thinking he invented it? Like, what a dickhead, man.
The Mandalorians had jetpacks too, so why wouldn't they have jetpacks? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So that means as early as The Empire Strikes Back, we've had jetpacks in Star Wars.
Hell, as early as the Clone Wars, we had jetpacks in Star Wars.
Well, timeline-wise, I'm talking about actual release-wise.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess you could even go back to the Christmas special where Boba Fett first shows up in canon.
Well, let's not talk about that.
Hey, that was great, man. I got to see.
Well, when you compare it to the Acolyte,
the Wookiees, man.
Dude, come on. What the fuck was that Dionne Warwick fucking musical number? Like, come on, man.
Oh, come on, man. Dabney Coleman.
B. Arthur's musical number.
Yeah, B. Arthur.
Oh yeah. Wasn't Phyllis Diller in that shit too? Like, come on, man. And why are you showing us Wookiee porn? Like, come on, man.
The Star Wars Christmas special is what we're talking about, Ed.
The only good thing about that Christmas special was the animated segment.
Yes,
the Boba Fett interview.
And even that was like, you could tell it was like done over a weekend,
it wasn't. It wasn't. But and what kills me is I feel like they just took that style, and that's how they put the Droids cartoon together.
Right. And it was like
the horrible colors, the horrible animation.
Right, because they showed the script to Ralph McQuarrie, and he was like, no, I'm not doing this. And they're like, all right, well, who can imitate Ralph?
And the Ewoks.
And somebody lied about being able to imitate Ralph, and we got that fucking garbage.
Hey, the Ewoks movies were better than that.
Yeah, well, I enjoy the second Ewok movies, the Battle for Endor. I actually enjoy that.
They don't make sense. I'm sorry,
it doesn't matter if they make
long
sense.
ago.
It doesn't matter if
the galaxy far, far away, and yet we have humans from our Earth's future. Like what? Wicked didn't age for like 500 years? Come on, man.
It was Wilford Brimley, and it was space-time travel due to the diabetes. The diabetes knocked Wilford Brimley's ass back in time to a galaxy far, far away.
Right. It should have come out after Cocoon, right? When all the old people went to space.
Yeah.
With Quaker oatmeal.
Right.
Yeah. That's how he got the diabetes, eating all that oatmeal.
Hey, I've got some, let's see, breaking news here for you. A longtime actress passed away just now.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. Who was it?
Jenna Rollins.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
She was 94, so. She was, let's see. Her son apparently wrote The Notebook. What did she? Let's see what she's in. Hold on, let me share this. Share this tab instead. Okay. She was in Polly. I don't know. What are her big movies? Movies.
Another Woman.
Another Woman. What is she known for, though? in Tony Rome in 1967, an early frost. I don't know what that was in 1985. I'm trying to think if she was in anything that I know. A Woman Under the Influence, 1974. 19 Powerhouse Mysteries. Her husband was John Sabathis. I don't know.
Yeah,
Trying
a
to figure
bunch of
out.
people I've never heard of.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Same
That was
here.
before my time.
So she was in, let's see, her movies were The Notebook, Paulie, that was about a parrot, Gloria in 1980. I was just wondering if
That
she
doesn't
was
make
in
anybody's list.
none of these. There's got to be some. Hope Floats. I don't know. Light of Day with Michael J. Fox.
Hope floats. So do turds.
Yeah, ouch. The Tempest. Okay, nothing I've heard of.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Was she in there? Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Something to talk about. Okay, well, the Betty Ford story. I don't know. Okay, nothing I've heard of so far, really. Oh well.
I've never even heard of this actress. So
Yeah, me
I've
either.
heard of the name, but I don't know.
Oh, hey, Kurt, whose Jedi Interceptor was that you held up a while ago?
Oh, that's Mace Windu. I got to
Yes.
I got to piece it together. I need a canopy. I need the.
Have you
droid
got
that goes in there?
the one that came with it?
No.
Because I remember those had
I love that he held up the figure by his face, so the only identifying quality of it was the thing we couldn't see.
It's a Jawa. It's a big size Jawa.
And his
come on,
lightsaber's the wrong damn color.
No,
it's just the lights.
it's a purple, but it's not like.
Look blue on the screen
It
right
does look blue.
Hey, can you hold it up again? I got you on solo.
Oh.
There we can see a little bit better. Oh, sweet.
See the purple?
Yes.
Oh, I like the purple one there. That's pretty cool.
Oh man.
Well, that's the second time Mace has fallen from a great height.
He needs a seatbelt since he doesn't have a canopy.
Like, see, if you look at
the purple lightsaber.
Purple.
Yeah, I guess it does look purple when the figure's behind it. I mean, it still looks more blue than purple, but
yeah, I know. It's
the original Mace Windu figure that came out with in the episode 1 stuff. He actually did have a blue lightsaber, but that was before they decided his lightsaber was going to be purple.
Yeah, this is this guy, this one, the remake.
yeah, okay. I love the David Letterman, how he used to do his top 10s. He did the top 10 things Samuel L. Jackson will say in Star Wars. And number 1 was get my lightsaber out of the bag. It's the one that says bad motherfucker on it.
Yeah. And believe it or not, and you guys may know this, they actually engraved that onto his lightsaber prop. It wasn't to the level that you could see it on screen, but it was engraved on that prop.
Yeah. He was the only one that got to pick his color, too.
Yep.
That's right. And the significant, they wrote into the lore the significance of the purple crystal, kyber crystal, and all that.
Hey,
that wasn't there before him.
And what's your YouTube
channel? Because he tapped into the dark side, so he,
right.
He had a blue lightsaber that he bled like the dark side. Because the reason that the dark side's lightsabers are red is because they bleed the crystal.
Right. I think it's the pad. I think it's the type of
pad is the
fighting,
the technique, a lightsaber technique that he uses.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, what's your YouTube channel? It's Geek World.
Really? Oh, it's Geek Homeworld.
Geek Homeworld. That's what.
Yes. It's on YouTube. Are you inviting George Lucas on or Kathleen Kennedy? Oh, okay.
George Lucas, of course.
Yeah, because we all have Kathy on speed dial.
We all do.
Yeah, hey, if you're inviting Catherine Kennedy on, I'm leaving.
But No,
because honestly, no. Look, the reason is because she has the money and power to have me killed, and I won't be able to control myself. I'll say something wrong,
She's
and
got to
then
get through us.
next thing you know, the assassins will be at my door.
Yeah, he'll be singing "Here Come the MIBs."
You're gonna have a whole bunch of witches coming to your door, right?
Yes, they're gonna pull your
Chanting
threads.
about
Right? It'll
about
be a
threads.
bunch of fucking white lesbian women just fucking banging sticks on the ground in the woods, yelling into the air.
Yeah, they'll be going, the power of one, the power of two, the power of my anus.
The power of many.
And then they'll pull your threads.
God, dude, what a bunch of terrible crap, man.
They're gonna mess up Darth Plagueis and the whole.
It's too late. They already have by putting him in that piece of shit.
They should have never. They totally undermined Anakin.
Kurt, I have a bunch of those individual interceptors back from when I collected.
Yeah, I got a bunch of yellow ones and a few of the maroon ones. I just got what's her name, the blue Twilight Jedi.
Ayla Sakura.
Oh my God, Curtis disappeared.
It's magic.
Hey, right into a ball of fire. It looks like he went poof.
He farted.
He went wham, and he's gone.
Oh God! I hope he doesn't show back up in the shorty shorts and neon gloves.
Hey, as long as he doesn't show up naked, that's all I'm worried about, man.
It's just not this one. Oh. This is the Twi'lek, the blue Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Jedi.
Ayla Sakura.
Yeah.
Was it?
Ayla Sakura.
When
Why
you got
is
it,
the only guy who gave up on Star Wars is the one that knows all the names?
I haven't given up on Star Wars. I
have. I just
new any new shit. I'm
so Curtis, since you gave up on Star Wars, you'll be sending all of those to me.
No, I'm the one that gave up on Star Wars.
You gave
not
up.
Curtis.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now the new shit. Fuck the new shit.
I
like
have another blue one that's different. It's blue, but it's different than this. It's the first Obi-Wan that came out. I use that for Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
I actually got my hands on the Ahsoka one.
You did what with Ahsoka?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, it's
the Delta 7B, the Clone Wars one. The triangle shaped one.
Yeah.
You know, when it's nice and hot outside, I prefer a super Ahsoka. Yeah, sorry, man. Dad jokes are my bread and butter, man. Get used to it.
Yes.
Hey, it's all good, man. If you don't love a good dad joke, then you're just not living.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Fuck Around and Find Out podcast. The Gen X podcast.
Yes.
Oh, that's probably already a podcast.
It probably is.
Right. Here. I'll give you a perfect example of my sense of humor.
Oh, dear.
Your mama is so far left, she identifies as your daddy.
We were doing this one night. We were joking. We were going to do a whole episode of Yo Mama jokes.
Oh, that's a good way to get.
Only if Cayman and I could bring Duke Nukem and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh Lord, we did back in the day when smartphones were new.
Yeah,
we downloaded these free soundboard apps, and
we went like 2
One
hours.
of us had a Duke Nukem. One of us had a Samuel L. Jackson. We were just going back and forth with the soundboard.
I had the Samuel L. Jackson. You had the Duke Nukem.
Oh, it was ridiculous, but it
just
was
like our famous diabetes episode before it was a thing. We were making those jokes decades ago.
Yes,
I got the diabetes.
I still, man. If you watch that one
with the
Liberty
horse
Medical commercial with the horse, and you look at it, you can tell it is a fake horse. It is not a real horse that Wilford Brimley is sitting on.
Well, look. Here's the thing: people get offended about like not the joke itself, or whether the joke itself is like bigoted in any way. They get offended by specific words in the joke, right? Like I'll give you a perfect example: a Chinese man walks into a pet store with a parrot on his head, And the pet store owner says, wow, where did you get that? And the parrot goes, China, they're everywhere. Right? Like, there's nothing racist about that. It doesn't attack a stereotype, but because I said Chinese guy and I'm not Chinese,
right.
Someone out there will call me racist.
And it's just like, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, it's a short or a TikTok or a reel or something where the guy's dressing up like, it starts out, he dresses up like a Mexican and he's going through asking actual Hispanic people, does my costume offend you? And they all say no. And then he dresses up like a Oriental person or Asian person, however, whatever it is.
And walks through Chinatown.
And he asks people, is my, that's what I'm wearing offensive to you? No. So cultural
and they
appropriation.
actually said, we like it when people not part of our culture wear it because it makes people aware of our culture.
And
like,
so
the only people offended by it are fucking white liberals.
Exactly. Ed.
Like, I'm so sick of like people being offended for other people. If those people want to be offended, then let them say they're offended.
I'm in my happy place.
Offended for other people.
Yeah, don't let people offend for themselves.
No, look, Ed, here's the thing, right? Like, by 10 years ago standards, I would have been a white liberal. Right? But the problem is they've moved the line so far from center.
That's exactly
what
I'm
now on the damn about. Right.
That's what Bill Maher talks about. He's like, I'm an old school liberal. That's what he calls himself. He's like, some of the new stuff, it's too left for me, and some of the right stuff too right for me. You can be in the middle. You can exist in the middle.
Yeah, like there's 10% on the left and 10% on the right, and the other 80% of us are in the center going, what the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly.
And some of y'all love Trump and some don't. Anyway, I'm just like.
Did you guys ever watch Shameless?
Shameless.
No, I did not watch it.
Dude, there's an episode where Joan Cusack, she's with this kid. He's not, he's got like mental issues. And they go to this meeting and they all stand up and they're saying, we're taking retard back. We are taking retard back.
Oh Lord, that reminds me of a thing I saw the other day. It was and I know we said we weren't going to talk politics, and this isn't really talking politics. I guess it's kind of political. But anyway, it's Quantum Leap and it's Sam Beckett, and he apparently had just jumped into this guy. He goes, I'm retarded. And then he walks over and he opens the closet and looks in the mirror, and it's Kamala Harris's head on the body.
Oh shit!
Wow. I had actually like said in response to like someone's Star Wars video, it was a Rise of Skywalker video, and I said this movie is retarded, and someone in the comments commented on my comment and said, you can't say that about people anymore. It's not right for you to call people retarded. And I said, well, the dictionary definition of retarded is to slow something down. The only person here that applied the word to people is you. So who's the bigot?
And you know what? I got news for people. That's a word that it was just the word we used back in the 80s. That we and nobody thought anything about it because that was just, if somebody was like that, they were a retard or retarded or.
I mean, honestly, all these
nobody like that.
All these restrictions are the reason that we can't have funny comedies anymore.
Exactly.
We could never have a Blazing Saddles or an Airplane now.
Well, even if you look at a newer comedy like Something About Mary, you couldn't make that one again.
And that was that long ago. It'll swing back the other way.
And that was funny as shit. That movie was.
Back in the day, it was. Yeah.
Even my dad, who never admits anything's funny.
Yeah.
He'll sit there and watch.
Here's my question about Something About Mary, though. How did he get the zipper past it?
How did he get the Franks over the beans, or the bean over to Frank? Yeah.
Like, how did he get the zipper past it? That's what I want to know.
Detached it? I don't know.
Suspension of disbelief. He was just in such a hurry to zip up, man, that he just went too hard. But yeah, how he got it over that and then the zipper didn't break. That's that just
right,
goes
because
to show you
clearly
how
the zipper was split, to get past it. Like, it's not like it's going back on the track once it passes it.
and that just goes to show you how bad a look that dude had.
But yeah, like half the movies that we love, from the 80s and 90s could never be made today because people are too damn sensitive.
Yeah. And like, they've recently announced, we're doing Spaceballs 2. Please don't.
Yeah. I really don't want to
look, here's my argument, right? If something offends you, then change the fucking channel or don't buy a ticket.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But everyone else has to like never get to watch it again because you don't like it. What the hell? That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Ed, you look like you're in actual pain right now.
It might be gas. I'm not sure. K-Man, can you get me a refill?
Yes. In fact, would you like lemonade? Because I can get that for you real quick.
Well, yeah, obviously people don't like my channel because they don't watch it.
Well, I feel that way sometimes, man, because my watch hours get down and it's like YouTube teases me, right?
Ooh.
They'll go, okay, you got this many subscribers this week, and now I'm going to take this many away. And it's not like it's a big number or anything. It's
I'm like, give me back my bots.
Over the weekend, I got to 763. Now I'm sitting at 760.
I mean, I remember when I passed 1 million subs on this channel, and then they took them all away, and I was down to 60. It was crazy, man.
It's because it's controlled.
And I mean, I don't know if it's like they're cutting out people who are no longer like really watching YouTube, or I don't know how that works. But
Google is, Google owns YouTube now, so they're about making money now because they're corporate, and they're gonna. Because
I really think that those numbers are super inflated. I think there's a very intricate system that it gives you that dopamine hit because it gets you chasing that number of subs. And those people don't really exist because the majority of your people are at least 40% of them. Should I let in Moto Viper?
Yeah, let him jump in.
Oh, hang on, I'll be right
back. Moto.
Hello.
How's it going, Frank?
What up, Frank?
Good. Welcome to the Democratic Party. We're glad you're here.
Oh, well, shit, I'm in the wrong place, man. I need to leave.
Oh, shit. What up, man?
Anyway, welcome, Moto. Hello, Moto.
Thank you.
So I think the whole algorithm crap doesn't exist. I really feel like they play with you to get you to say, okay, you've got X amount of subs, and it's a dopamine hit because you're chasing those subs, and most of those I think are probably some kind of computer generated whatever. I don't know. Some kind of fake bot thing that gets you going, and it's all in a tiered system. So you get the dopamine hit and you keep creating, you keep giving Google or YouTube, which is really Google, you're giving them all your free content that you've got to hit an outrageous level before you can even start to monetize it. And they're mining all of your data, they're mining all of your followers, supposed that are actually real. They're mining all that data for free. They're getting AdSense and everything off of all of that stuff. And when you get to a point where you're actually start creating, I don't really think that's how many followers you have. I don't think you can ever truly trust how many followers it says that you have on there.
That's why you gotta go to Rumble.
So is Rumble a good alternative? I mean, does it do video? I don't know Rumble, so.
Yep.
Well, my issue with Rumble is like my channel is a toy channel, and Rumble doesn't really deal with that sort of stuff at all.
I seen some people doing it. They got a lot of views and hits. And
I mean, if there was a viable alternative to YouTube, like I would probably be there.
I think a lot of people would be. It's YouTube's. It just seems too fabricated to be real. It's kind of like, Major League Sports. They exist for a reason. You're gonna most likely go to a seventh game in any kind of series. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more TV revenue, there's more ad revenue, there's all that. I don't know. Maybe it's fixed, or maybe it's just coincidence.
How many revenues can you revenue if you revenue after yesterday?
I don't know, but if you tax every single one, you have our tax system essentially.
Hey, Frank, there was one movie on your list that I could not find. I couldn't prove it even existed. On Any Given Sunday 2.
Oh, okay.
He's looking right now. He's like, wait a minute.
So, what?
Because On Any Given Sunday came out in 99. And I couldn't find any other On Any Given Sunday. And I can't hear you at all right now. Are you muted, Frank?
You must be muted.
Yeah, I was muted. I was coughing. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday 2, 1981. It's what started it all off for Moto.
Yeah, I couldn't find that movie at all. I couldn't even find proof of its existence.
Really? Okay, I'll send it to you then. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Gosh, so we got way off the subject, and we were talking about what did we talk about? Disaster movies. We talked about,
yes.
Bad disaster movies, overrated movies.
Oh no, because it's not on any given Sunday. It's just on any Sunday.
On any Sunday.
Now I've got to look it up. You're getting me involved on any Sunday.
Flash.
Oh, it looks
okay.
like it's a racing movie.
Steve McQueen. Hey.
Yeah.
Documentary on motorcycle racing features stars of the sport, including film star Steve McQueen, a racer in his own right. Okay.
Yeah.
What is this about?
And this had a theatrical release?
But it was 1971.
Oh, maybe not.
It's a documentary following the lives of racers and racing enthusiasts, including Steve McQueen, first asking the question why they do it, and the film looks at people. Continuing on next thing, people. So that was in 1971. All I can find. So, anywho,
well, it's Any Given Sunday 2.
We don't mean to put Moto on the spot here, so we can move on while we figure that out. Let's see, what else were we chatting about?
How sexy Deadpool girl is.
Blake Lively, you mean?
Yeah.
His Deadpool's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, they became the first couple ever to have a top 2 films in the nation. Today, the other day, Deadpool and Wolverine crossed 1 billion worldwide, and it just crossed 500 internationally and in the US yesterday or something like that. So,
can you name that song?
Which song?
That is in the fighting scene with all the other Deadpools.
Like a Prayer by Madonna?
Yeah. Can you sing it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but I'm not going to get a copyright strike. No one listens. Do you want me to sing it? When you call my name, it's like a little. Well, I can start at the beginning. I know the whole thing. I know the album. I have the album.
I'm just
like her. I like Madonna. I don't care. She originally wasn't going to re-release the single and all that, but it's become real popular because of the film. Because she's like releasing the 30th anniversary edition of it like this fall. But then the other day I saw they released like the version from the movie and all that. So
yeah,
music is weird now. I don't really count music anymore.
She's weird.
She's very weird. I mean, I've been probably a lifelong fan of hers because I'm an 80s fan. I'm going to love anything 80s, pretty much.
Right.
And, but yeah, like a couple albums ago, she lost me when she's not looking their age. She's really trying to look like something she's not even. And
right.
Some of her music's okay, but it's not her best stuff.
Well, she's from Michigan and she dogged Michigan for the longest time. Then all of a sudden, her daughter went to the University of Michigan,
and she was all about Michigan.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that.
It doesn't look like On Any Sunday had a box office release though. It doesn't look like it went to theaters.
Maybe it's just in the strip clubs.
On Any Given Sunday too.
No, On Any Sunday too. There's no On Any Given Sunday in 81. Only On Any Sunday.
Or On Sunday, yeah.
On Any Sunday, the next chapter. What's that?
That's like a 2014 film or something.
Yeah.
No, it should be 1981. Let me see.
There's a 1971 On Any Sunday.
But we're talking about On Any Sunday 2.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. 2 On Any Sunday, the next chapter was a DVD. I can see the DVD for that.
Yeah, that's 1981.
That's 19.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it doesn't.
Watching this exclusively because this is what started it all off for me. Oh shit! The light won't let you see it.
Let's see.
No, I've got it brought up on my computer here. It just doesn't look like it had a theatrical release. It looks like it was originally shown on television, not in the theater.
Oh no.
Oh, On Any Sunday. I found this right here. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up for you. Well, I don't know if we're not going to watch it, but let's see. Hold on. Present, share screen. Yes.
I don't know if you guys missed it or not, but yesterday was Taco Tuesday.
Well, see, that's not the right movie. That's On Any Sunday. That's 1971.
Well, there's this one that's actually, hold on. Let me share this tab. Here, this tab. I see this. There's an On Any Sunday too, 1981. And it's about dirt bike racing.
Come on. The legendary Bob Hanna.
Is this it?
This is it.
Yeah, this is it. This is it right here.
It's called On Any Sunday, 1981. But
yeah.
I don't.
Fuck yeah.
No, was it released? Was it released in the movie?
Where started all off for Moto Viper? Come on now.
Was it released in the movie?
Kenny Roberts, Barry Sheen, Bernie Schreiber, Andros Mikacek.
But I don't see where I can't find anything theatrical about it. I don't see anything.
No, it's a documentary.
Maybe this was made for TV, or maybe.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
but no one's listening to a word that's coming out of my mouth.
We heard
it doesn't look like it had a theatrical release. It looked like it was a made-for-television thing.
We watched it at one of those, remember those, dome theaters back in the day? And you're the Galaxy and all that shit?
Yeah.
We watched that movie Any Given Sunday, too, in that dome.
Stop saying given, man. You're talking about a football movie when you put given.
On Any Sunday. Sorry, I'm thinking football. Yeah. I guess maybe it's just different region or something, you know.
Mhm.
All right. I mean, yeah, because what we were pretty much the rule is it has to have had a worldwide theatrical release.
Domestic, yeah.
Well, see, that's okay. I can take that one off because I was surprised how many primo 1981 movies there are. I could.
Oh yeah,
easily-
there's a lot, man. There's a lot.
There's some
We
good
went
ones,
over them
yeah.
the other night when you weren't
no
here,
idea
Frank.
how nice 1981 was.
Yeah, you know what? If you don't mind, Ed, I'll go ahead and show those movie posters again.
Sure. I got no problem with that. I'll put you solo there, so we can see them on yours.
No. That's not how it works. I'm going to share a screen, and you're going to put that screen up.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Oh, I
Now
see
you
what you're
can
saying. Okay.
share that. You can put that screen that I shared up. All
There
right.
you go. Okay.
So American Pop. This was an animated movie that's went from the 1920s all the way up to the 80s with the history of music. Great movie. An American Werewolf in London. Arthur. Bustin' Loose. Caveman with Ringo Starr and Shelley Long looking gorgeous.
Dennis Quaid.
Chariots of Fire won Best Picture that year. Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
Dragon Slayer. Escape from New York. Excalibur. For Your Eyes Only. Roger Moore's last Bond film. Well, almost.
No.
Friday the 13th Part 2. Halloween 2. Heavy Metal. Fucking amazing movie.
Yep.
History of the World Part 1.
Yep.
The Road Warrior, which I believe is already on your list. Modern Problems, awesome Chevy Chase movie where he gets telekinetic powers. Neighbors, one of John Belushi's last movies, where he plays the straight man to Dan Aykroyd, the crazy swinger neighbor that moved in next door. On Golden Pond, Raiders of the Lost Ark, definitely already on your list, obviously. SOB, movie about Hollywood like horribleness. Saturday the 14th, just a spoof horror movie. Scanners, Michael Ironside blowing up heads with telekinesis. Stripes, Student Bodies, another horror spoof. In my opinion, much better than Saturday the 14th. Cannonball Run, Evil Dead, The Fox and the Hound, The Howling, which I believe is also already on your list, right, Frank?
Yep.
The Legend of, this was one of your picks, The Legend of the Lone Ranger. Time Bandits, amazing movie. Zorro the Gay Blade, that was one of
Caveman's.
Caveman's picks. But yeah, see, there's a lot to pick. There's a lot to choose from. Like just in that, and that's not even like all of it. There's a lot more you can dip into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said dip.
Let's see.
You got to be careful with that stuff. You get lip cancer.
That's what she said.
What an odd thing for she to say.
She's very odd. She says things like that. So, our next. When are we doing the 81 again? The actual show.
We're doing it not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we're watching wrestling pay-per-view, which starts at 1 p.m. It's in Berlin.
This Saturday?
In Berlin.
First time ever in Berlin.
That's this Saturday?
That is this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
No, next Saturday. Next Saturday.
No, that's this Saturday.
We
Or
gotta get that right.
And then
Halloween bangers in the evening.
yes. Halloween bangers.
I can't
We're
wait.
enjoying the movie Demons. M3 picked it.
Nice. Night of the Demons?
He's been what? I believe it's just Demons.
Oh, just Demon.
Yeah. He's been wanting to do that one for a long time. So,
Fuck yeah, bro.
We'll let Prophet Director tell us all about that movie.
Why? I've never even seen it.
I'm just kidding.
So on the 24th, we're doing the top 10 of 81, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Ichuki.
It's cool.
And then we're watching the Detroit Lions destroy the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
So I know what my pick for this year's Halloween bangers is going to be.
What's that?
It's a movie that starred Steven Dorff as a little kid called The Gate.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's a good pick.
Right? And lots of nice little stop motion demons.
Yep.
Yeah, that movie is awesome.
Gotta go. Duty calls. But I'll talk to y'all soon, man. Y'all have a good night.
Later, Moto.
All right, brother.
Thank you for coming in, Moto. Good to see you. He stuck to his guns about that movie. I don't think it ever got a theatrical release, though.
I mean, I looked hard to find one. I couldn't find a theatrical release.
It was fine. He can change it, so yeah.
Yeah, I didn't find any box office numbers for it or anything. So
yeah.
You know, and even he said it wasn't in like a regular theater. It was in like some dome theater or something. So it's like
kind of like those early drive-ins, not early drive-ins, but
it's like at those science type.
Oh, is it kind of like the laser show place or
like you lean back and then you like see they'll do the the constellations,
the planet like the planetarium.
They do stuff. Yeah, exactly. The planetarium.
I love those planetarium shows. Oh man, I saw one about.
I haven't been in one.
We saw this about a year or two ago. We saw the one down in Statesboro. We saw the Pink Floyd. Was it The Wall?
Yeah. No. It wasn't The Wall. It's just called
Dark
the
Side
Pink
of the Moon.
Floyd. No, it's not. It's Pink. It was just called the Pink Floyd Laser Light Show.
Because I know it had money.
It was basically. Well, it was basically done to the Pulse album, which had like, you know, remasters of all the old stuff from The Wall, from Dark Side of the Moon, from what I mean.
Dark Side of the Moon, yeah.
But it was for the Pulse album, which was like a 4-disc like remastery of Pink Floyd's old stuff. Because I saw it here too in Chicago at the Adler Planetarium, right next to the Shed Aquarium.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know the exact show you're talking about.
Yeah, I know it was pretty damn good, and
really good, really excellent stuff for sure.
Yeah, like one of those standouts for me was Money, and there were probably other ones on there, but I can't think of it right now. But I just
did you get your money for nothing,
and your chicks for free?
Yeah.
No, that's the Dire Straits.
I know. The story of that song is Sting was next door, and they were in Montserrat or some tropical location. Dire Straits was recording their album, and they kind of needed a hit song or whatever. And Sting happened to be staying in the same villa or whatever, working on some music or something. Or I think he was working on Dream of the Blue Turtles, his first solo album. And so he came over to jam with them, and then. They basically that's Don't Stand So Close to Me is basically what that song is if you listen to the melody of it. And so they kind of fashioned it, kind of riffed off of that. And
that's Sting singing I Want My MTV lines in it.
Yeah. And I don't know if y'all saw this video recently. It's been going around for a while, but they were talking about Sting. He was on a radio show. He gets paid. It's like $1 million a day from P. Diddy, whatever his name is, Diddy Doody, because he without his permission, covered. It's about 11 or 12 years ago. He had a big hit with "I'll Be Missing You." That was like his tribute to the rapper friend of his that died. That he made all the money off of. Biggie Smalls,
notorious B.I.G.
B.I.G. Yeah, and so he made a living off of promoting his friend that died. And anyway, so he used the basic beat of "Every Breath You Take" by the Police. And so Elton John told him at some party a few years ago, he's like, you know what? You can actually get him, because Elton John knows about publishing and stuff like that. And he's like, you need to go after him for that because he stole your music there without your permission. Sting would have lent it to him. I don't doubt it. And Sting even sang on the song when the tribute was out and all that stuff. I remember watching it. So Sting got his lawyers, and so now it's like every day or every week he has to pay Sting $1 million or something. So like Sting is like making $1 million a week off of that song. So
Sting isn't the only one getting paid, because he also took Kashmir from Led Zeppelin without their permission for that song he did for Godzilla.
You're right. He did. I mean, that was a straight rip off of it. And I don't know if you consider it stole or he used part of it.
He sampled it.
Sampled "I'm Coming Out" by Diana Ross, which was a big hit for her in like 1980. That song came out, and that had Nile Rodgers of Chic worked on that song with her. And that was a big hit. And he went and sampled that and made that a hit, so I don't really see that his stuff is terribly original, but I think that's hilarious that he owes that money to Sting. So he's like paying Sting every week or whatever, $1 million or whatever.
Yeah, well, I wonder if he's going to keep paying him after he goes to prison for the fucking.
Sting doesn't need the money.
No, I'm just saying, because P. Diddy's about to go to jail for the, underage sexual assault that he's being accused of right now at his parties.
He's a lower tier guy for the Epsteins of the world. He's probably one of the generals in that army of sickness.
I mean, I don't know if I'd even call him a general, more like a foot soldier.
Yeah. Truth will come out, and what's due to people. Like Cat Williams said, he said 2024 is about the truth coming out, and people will, the truth will find its way out.
It's already been finding its way out.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's my biggest problem with Hollywood right now is, we've got Epstein, we've got his client list. Why the hell are none of the people on his client list being arrested or even questioned?
Yeah, if the two top people got arrested, why aren't the other ones that went there?
Because they're connected to too many people right now. But the truth's going to find its way.
Well, he's connected to all of them, so that don't.
I think that's why they don't want to pull him down, because he's gonna be the rat. He's gonna rat on everybody, and then it'll all come tumbling down. The ramifications.
Yeah, and I feel like the people who've been ostracized by Hollywood are the only ones that aren't like guilty of that shit. People like Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah. Tim Allen.
And somebody, not that I don't know how much I believe him, but the Corey guy, he had, a lot of people said he was kind of crazy. Not Corey Haim, but the other guy.
Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman.
Yeah. He was talking about this stuff years ago. And they, it's kind of funny to see all this stuff coming to fruition now. It's all coming to light,
Oh, same with that.
Well, Corey Feldman says that's the shit that drove Corey Haim to suicide.
Exactly. And he actually implicated, I saw one video, and it's the internet, so you don't know whether to believe it, but he said that he implicated Charlie Sheen in some of that abuse that was done to him. Right. They were always like, name people. And he's like, there's people in studios, and, they're not blind to what's been going on for decades. It's, and it's all, the truth's going to come out.
Well, that's why I loved Ricky Gervais's opening monologue for the Golden Globes a couple years ago.
It was so prophetic, wasn't it?
You could tell who was fucking guilty in the crowd by their reactions to what he was saying.
They were like, "Ooh, this isn't the line we're supposed to toe," Yeah, I mean, of course, I never got high enough in the industry to find out, who was good or bad or whatever. But certainly, most people, 99% of the people I dealt with, were just really good people. But none of us were high level people. We're not connected.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a thing
they
in
are
Hollywood.
Actors. They are actors, Ed.
I think that there's a thing in Hollywood where once you reach a certain financial tier, they like make you, do some of the crazy shit so that they have dirt on you, so that you won't rat on the rest of them.
And let's talk about the most, I think, in my opinion, most overrated, two of the most overrated performers of this generation or whatever, Beyonce and Jay-Z. Maybe Beyonce, you can see her talent, but Jay-Z's not that prolific that he should be a billionaire. I mean, he's a smart businessman, but there's a lot going on with him that I think that's what's in the wind is saying that he's going to be the next one exposed for a bunch of stuff that he's done. And there's stuff about Beyonce that's allegedly come out as well. She's not the perfect person everyone paints her to be. But what's been going on in the movie industry has been going on in film in music as well for decades.
I think Taylor Swift is part of that as well.
Yeah, she definitely.
I don't think Taylor is. What were you saying, Curtis?
I said Taylor definitely is. 100.
I don't see
100%.
Why would you say that? I mean, I'm curious as why you would think that.
Just watch her and look at the stuff she does, the act, what she says, the performance she does. Just
are you saying because she used to have are you saying it because she used to have a Republican base and now she seems to have gone left?
No, I'm talking about the demonic witch type stuff she does on stage. She says, I mean, right now everybody's telling everybody what they're doing.
I watched it. It was on Disney Plus, and I was bored out of my mind. So sometimes you switch to something you just don't want to grab the controller that's at the other end of the couch. and I watched a portion of her concert that was on there, and it's very good. She's a very good.
Listen
performer.
to her songs.
Come on, every one of her songs, she makes herself a victim. It's like you're one of the richest fucking women on the planet.
Yeah.
Really? You can't make a fucking relationship work and you keep getting dumped? I fucking doubt it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you write what you know. So, I mean, I don't know. Well, it's like people, gave it. Adele has true talent. She's a true singer. She's got, and people gave her flack and was like, oh, you're singing all the same stuff, the same sob story stuff. But she's actually gone through the stuff that she's sung.
Because Adele was overweight. So Adele did have to deal with that type of ridicule and stuff.
But
and what's ironic is Adele loses all the weight. And then the fat community's like, oh, you're our enemy now. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? She got fucking healthy because she didn't want to die 20 years early.
Yeah. But I don't know.
And Adele has the greatest, she's like one of the best female vocalists of this era, hands down.
If you want to talk about favorite female artists, just off of pure voice alone, for me, probably Karen Carpenter, I think, is probably the purest voice I've ever heard. Thank you for
not saying Celine Dion.
No. There's something tangly or whatever, lost in translation. And she's a good singer, but she's not the best singer. I'd put Whitney Houston way ahead of her and a lot of others before I would put Celine at the top. But Celine's good. But
right.
The other one I was going to say
that Bobby Brown enabled the drug,
He enabled it, but it turned out that Whitney was actually the bad one. We thought it was Bobby all along. It wasn't necessarily Bobby, it was her. But she was so stuck in that goody-goody image, America's, teenage girl.
Well, but there's actual police reports of Bobby beating the shit out of her.
That's probably true. I mean, when you're into drugs, you'll do crazy things. But one of my other picks is Patsy Cline. I think Patsy Cline had a beautiful voice.
Oh, Patsy Cline, yeah.
I mean, she's crazy.
I have
crazy
returned.
For feeling so lonely.
A song written by Willie Nelson, which he's so great. He's not a great singer. He's a good singer. But,
if we're going into stuff that's that old, I really thought the Lemon Sisters were fucking amazing.
They were a trio. Were they like triplets or no?
They were a quartet. There was four of them.
Four of them.
Yeah, and they were the ones that did the radio release version of My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music.
Obviously, I said Whitney's a great singer. She's probably one of the most powerful. What a beautiful voice that was destroyed with cigarettes and drugs. She was on her way back too. And the other thing is, they say that one of the grandfathers or whatever, or allegedly, of all of the really crazy stuff in the music industry is Clive Davis. Said he has his hands in like everything. Him and what's the guy that produced Quincy Jones? Yeah, I've heard some crazy things. Who?
Don't forget Suge Knight.
I won't mention Suge. He'll take me out. I'll cease to exist. But
he'll hang you off the balcony, Vanilla.
He'll run your head over with a car.
Word to your mother.
He'll make you do like Hammer and wear that little thong and do pumps and no bumps.
Pumps and no bumps. We let the girl with the pumps and the bumps. I remember when that video came out. I was like, "What the hell is this? This is not Hammer."
Oh God, I remember that video came out and they were playing it in Walmart, on Walmart TV in the electronics.
Right, because Hammer was still big.
And I was like,
no, somebody needs to change this channel.
And then I was like, oh, it's Hammer. No, that ain't Hammer. Where's the pants? He ain't even wearing any pants.
He's like, he went to the video and forgot his draws.
He kind of got done the same way Vanilla Ice did.
Allegedly.
Well,
he ended up giving in to
MC Hammer got dragged down by his need to have like a 60-man posse with him everywhere he went.
He got dragged down. I think MC Hammer, he stayed true to who he was, but his problem is he wanted to help everybody, and he literally helped everybody. I mean, he'd have 200 people entourage, like you said, and he burned through that $30 million he made off that album.
And let's not forget
Suge Knight,
his practically worthless mansion that he built in Oakland.
Another thing though, when they had like the 50th anniversary of hip hop, then they invited him back and he turned them down. He's like, wait a minute, you were the same guys inviting me to this, but when I was actively recording and getting all my hits, y'all turn your backs on me. You want me to show up at your thing and perform, because people would love to see Hammer perform again. Not that he can perform at that level he could before, but he was a great performer. He wasn't terribly original, because I mean, when he did, obviously he made a bunch of money for Rick James.
Yeah.
when he covered that, and then he took when Dove. I'm surprised Prince let him record, a dub, what do you call it, sample When Doves Cry for Pray, which is a great jam. It's a great song, but
and let's not forget his greatest song ever.
Too
legit to quit.
Too legit to quit. Is that how I can't?
Isn't that the Addams Family song?
Yeah, Addams Family rap or something or whatever.
That is such a terrible song.
You want
Oh no! You want to talk about MC Hammer and terrible is when he was doing those Taco Bell commercials, and he was literally parachuting into Taco Bell
with his parachute pants.
Yeah,
it's so.
Well, what about like the those commercials for the fucking hooks you put on the wall with no nails?
Oh,
like they got him because you don't need a hammer for this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. That sounds like some crap I'd come up with.
Yeah, the command adhesive. Yeah.
And he probably said, "Please, hammer, don't hurt him." Right?
Yep.
But people
Well,
forget he had a good album before that one hit. He had the one with God, what was that song on?
Hammer Don't Hurt Him, and it was You See Her or something like that. So You See Her.
Well, Have You Seen Her?
Have You Seen Her? That was on his whatever was
that
on.
Was
you Can't Touch This. That album.
Yeah,
It
third
was on there
single.
with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that was a cover of an old song. But no, before that he had God, what was
the album before that was Hammer Don't Hurt Him, and
Please Hammer Don't Hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn it! Now I gotta look it up. Now I used to know this stuff. I'm trying to think what the song is that I'm thinking of. Let's see.
What about Prince's Batman song, The Bat Dance?
Oh, God. Genius.
No, Party Man was the better.
Party Man, I mean, whatever.
Party Man was the better one because that's the one they played when they were in the museum.
Well, that was good, but let's see. Hold on. Where is it? Images, school.
But yeah, I like the one at the end during the parade too.
Yeah.
Here comes the hammer. I bet you that's it. Here comes the hammer. Wait a minute. What is it called? Wikipedia. Come on, Wikipedia.
Yeah, honestly, the only MC Hammer song that I know is Too Legit to Quit. I don't know any of the other.
Too legit.
You don't know You Can't Touch This?
Okay, yeah. Here we go.
Oh, no, I do know You Can't Touch This. I do know You Can't Touch This.
I had a good parody song. You Can't Flush This. My hits me so hard, makes me say, "Oh my Lord!" Thank you for giving me a plunger.
That goes right with. I was sitting on the toilet one day, and when my son was like, I don't know, maybe he was 2 or 3.
Now we got toilet.
He comes up to me while I'm sitting on the toilet. He goes, "Daddy, what did Admiral Akbar see when he looked in the toilet?" And I said, "I don't know." He goes, "It's a crap."
It's a crap. So 1988 was called Let's Get It Started. That was his album there. It looked like that. And what was the song on there?
Then the one before that was
Let's Get It Started
or something.
No, that one, the big one was in 1990 was Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him. That one there.
Yeah.
He made it for $10,000. Really? Wow. God, man.
Yeah, those recording studios in Oakland is cheap, man.
You got to record that thing quick. That's why he's dancing.
Your way through the bullets.
But his first album he sold out of the trunk of his car. I think this one in '86.
Oh well, that's the last I heard of him. That's what he was doing again. He was
well, he went back to the church, and
he was a preacher, and he was recording religious rap music and selling it out of the trunk of his car.
See, I was into rap in 1986, but it was Licensed to Ill.
The Beastie Boys.
I can't really say I was into it then because in my house we really were not allowed to listen.
I'm sure you
White Castle fries only come in size.
Somebody said there's this meme where it said the Beastie Boys fought so hard for our right to party. And look at us now sitting on the couch or something like that 40 years later.
Yeah.
You got to fight for your right to nap.
The Beastie Boys were amazing, man. The Beastie Boys had like the way they would like stack their reps on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have MCA finishing Mike D's bar, God, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
they were, and their ear for a beat, like take a song like Sabrosa or Sabotage, right? And the beats are just incredible.
You mean the thing from Star Trek Beyond?
They got better and better.
We don't talk about Star Trek Beyond
because Licensed to Ill was the album that made them, because they made a punk album before that.
Yeah.
But Licensed to Ill was the album that made them famous with like You Can Fight for Your Right to Party and Girls and No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But
there was a movie.
And they had
Paul's Boutique came out, and they got a little better. They got smoother with their bars. And by the time Ill Communication was out, they were fucking on top of their game, man. They were amazing on that album.
You must be their publicist.
But Paul's Boutique had great bars in it, like like Mike the Butcher giving Alice the meat like Fred Flintstone driving around with bald feet.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That's amazing shit. You gotta love it.
There,
Yeah, there's a movie, Crush. Was it Crush Groove that had all the
Crush Groove, yeah. Had Sheila E. in it. Now all these people in it.
Everybody in it.
Oh God,
I think it had
that reminds me of the
bars.
movie. God, what was it? Was it Paramedics that had the Fat Boys in it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They did a song with the Beach Boys. Remember? They did Wipeout
Yeah.
in the like mid '80s. It's crazy.
What, you don't know Morris Day in the Times? That shit is the Mad Notes.
Yes.
Yeah. Morris
I
Day,
remember Morris Day in the time.
They are good.
Yeah.
I really like
They're
them.
very good.
They're one of my
Now,
favorites.
one of the people that got the guru that was behind Beastie Boys breaking through was Rick Rubin. That dude has, because after he did that, he went on to do the Run DMC, and that broke rap into the mainstream big finally, because it was kind of like hanging around underground, and then that just
I would argue that
Walk This Way.
Walk This Way would Run DMC and Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Like that was what broke fucking rap.
That is what broke it. Yeah, and Rick Rubin worked on that. That was what he worked on next.
And then Will Smith's Parents Just Don't Understand almost killed rap in my neighborhood. But thankfully, at the same time that came out, we all discovered Two Live Crew and you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh dear. What we're not supposed to.
Abraham Lincoln
Tipper
was a
Gore
good
and
old
her
man.
labels.
He jumped out the window with his
in
his hand. He said, "Excuse me, ladies, I'm doing my duty. Drop your pants and give me some."
Y'all remember what was it? Send a fellow. I remember rocking that.
Right, or that dick will make you cheat on your man, make you feel all good and hot in the ass. Fucking Two Live Crew, man. They were banned in so many places.
Don't forget Banned in the USA.
Yep.
Yep, Two Live Crew, man.
What's happening right now again? It's what's happening right now again.
And oh my God,
it should be our freaking
George Lucas. I remember George Lucas sued Luther Campbell's ass off for using the name Luke Skywalker, because that was the name that he went by.
See that? I mean,
now, I don't know. I don't know if any money ever exchanged hands or whatever. If it was just, he wanted him to stop using it, of course, and I think that's ended up what happened.
Well, I mean, that was too much on the nose anyway. So he should have won that. Yeah.
I mean, it did draw attention to the NBA at the time, though. Because I remember, like at least in my neighborhood in Chicago, like we were calling, like, people like Michael Jordan were getting Skywalker as a nickname because they were like walking through the sky and dunked over like 9 dudes.
Well, remember Reagan took heat from Lucas with it.
For naming the SDI Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
But I don't think Reagan really did that. I think the media dubbed it that, and then it just kind of took off from there. They just started
because all Reagan did was contract for a satellite defense grid. Right. They could shoot a nuke out before it re-entered the atmosphere.
Towards the end, he was on his Biden stage anyway, so that last term.
Yeah, but the difference,
Nancy was running shit.
The difference was nobody knew it till after the fact.
That's right.
Well, and the funny thing is, I loved the Reagan's response with the Iran-Contra hearings, and they asked him where he was, and he's like, "Do you remember where you were that day?" Like, come on, man.
God, what was the thing he said?
Poor old Ollie North.
Oh, when he was going against Walter Mondale, they were in debates, and they were talking about how old he was, and the classic thing that Reagan said, he said, "I am not going to make a big deal about my opponent and how young and inexperienced he is," and they just had a great laugh. He turned that.
That was the thing, Reagan was good at turning a phrase.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he was very good at it. And oh Lord, like some of the jokes that he used to tell are just, you look at him now, it's kind of corny, but it'll still make you laugh.
And honestly, we wouldn't have G.I. Joe, a real American hero, if Reagan hadn't turned our military into like the heroes of the day at the time,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But when we were busy,
the U.S. military is going to save the world from communism.
But you know, there's also, in hindsight, if you look at it, history. I mean, yeah, it was great for us, but kind of wish there was a little bit looking beyond our shores. That we don't have to be the greatest nation on earth. You know, other people can still be good. You know, we don't have to be the best and the only one. But you know,
Well, there is other.
See, I have to say I'm a nationalist, man. I you know what? I'll worry about other countries. I'll worry about other countries when we get our shit straight here.
Yeah.
Right? When we're as fucked up as we are right now, we should not be fucking worried about interfering in other
even when we had such prosperity, there was a lot of poverty in the 80s. There was a lot of communities that were left out. You know, and there's stuff. I mean, in this country, we can always do better. We always, you know, we'll spend billions here. Yes, we'll send billions overseas, but we won't take care of all the people in our own neighborhoods, you know, and that's
yeah, right. How many veterans are homeless right now?
If you fight a war, you shouldn't have to, and you come home and you are maimed or you're psychologically damaged, you know, because of that. Your country should, if a country, especially if they made you to go to war, if you were back in, you know, Vietnam times or whenever where you were drafted in, especially, but regardless of that, your country should still take care of you. You should come home with respect, and you shouldn't have to worry. I think you shouldn't have to worry about where your next paycheck is coming, especially if you should be taken care of. You should have the best medical treatment possible and shown the most respect.
And you know, that's another reason why I can't stand like teenagers and 20-year-olds hijacking the term PTSD. They're like, oh, the boy didn't call me back. I have PTSD. It's like, fuck you, you rotten little bitch.
Yeah.
Like, stop hijacking a term that means something to people, like genuinely.
There are
you
things
can't apply
with
getting dumped and calling that PTSD. I'm sorry.
It's a different form, but it's not to the extent that somebody who watched somebody get blown up in front of them or lost their arm or whatever. It's apples and oranges to me.
Right. Or someone, even because like a lot of those guys, like they didn't see someone explode. They didn't like watch someone die in front of them, but they had to kill someone themselves.
Yeah.
And taking a life, like that's, you know, something traumatic that, you know, because none of us want to take a life. You know what I mean?
No, of course.
But if you're forced into a situation where it's them or you, and you have to kill somebody, you know, that's traumatic as hell, man. You have to live with that for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? And you can't compare it to like, you know, oh, that girl wore the same dress as me to prom, or, you know, that boy said no when I asked him out, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's like, just call it something else. Stop calling it post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right. Because, and I believe I think the pandemic especially did it to this generation of people, not just the generation of this time, but older generations too. I mean, I think a lot of people got mentally damaged by the world shutting down the way it did and people being cut off, and especially kids coming up through all of that. And it is a bit of a trauma, and I believe that, you know, we probably have more mental issues because we also focus on it as well. You know, our generations didn't. We did, you know, you buck it up, you know, and
rub some dirt on it.
Well, I mean, but there also used to be help for those people, right? They used to be institutions where people could go and get help, whether it be therapy sessions or medication, whatever. And now we just toss those people on the street.
We do.
You know, they're on the subway platforms in New York, pushing people in front of trains and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that those are people with a mental illness that are getting no help whatsoever.
True.
You know, and maybe if someone like talked to them, Maybe if they got some therapy or some medication or something, maybe they wouldn't be out there assaulting people, you know? But we don't care about those people anymore because they don't make politicians richer.
Yes, they don't have anything to do with gender politics.
Right? They can't find a way to make money off of those people, so they're abandoned.
I wish the trends and the algorithms would encourage people to like go out and do random acts of kindness. Wouldn't that be great? I'd follow an influencer who went out there and actually walked the walk and talked the talk and actually took somebody and got them a meal.
Well, the problem is you get a lot of fakers on that, right?
Exactly.
Now, I'll give you a great example. Here in Chicago, when we had the George Floyd riots here in Chicago, the day after, there were all these like construction companies going around and putting plywood up on broken windows and stuff like that. And I saw this one video. The fucking bitch gets out of a Mercedes with her fucking boyfriend, walks over to the two Hispanic guys that are putting up the plywood, and she's like, "Oh, can I see a drill?" And she poses with the fucking drill. Her boyfriend snaps the shot. Then she hands them back the drill and gets in the car and drives away. It's like, you fake bitch.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that. Like, you see these guys who like bring a sandwich to a homeless person. It's like, that's great. But do you need to film yourself doing it? Because are you doing it for that homeless person, or are you doing it for internet clout?
They're doing it for likes and shares.
What is it in? Yeah, exactly. What's it in the Bible? The man who does the most. I'm going to say it the wrong way. I can't remember it. Who does basically is what you're saying, that if you do the good deed in not in darkness, but where no one can see it, then you'll be rewarded where people can see it. There's a scripture like that, and I can't remember it right now, but it's like, it basically is saying exactly what you said. You do the good thing when no one's looking. You should be doing it when no one's looking and not just when they're looking. It's like people that get on and say, "Oh, I did this," and it's the humble bragging of this of social media.
Right. Yeah. Like, "Oh, look, I helped that guy. Now praise me."
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about bringing awareness to the guy that needs help. It's about their own clout. And that's garbage to me. That's like
that's the worst kind. That's where you're being fake about it. You're not being
because you can go out there and film yourself giving a homeless guy a sandwich, but would you give the homeless guy a sandwich if you didn't have a camera running?
Right.
I
can't give it to you. My phone died. I'll come back later with your sandwich. It's like, once I charge back up.
Well, dude, I saw one. There was another person, like the guy who was recording didn't know he was being recorded by someone else.
Uh-huh.
And he gives the homeless guy some food and some money, and then he goes, "Oh, wait a minute, that wasn't the best take. Let's try it again." Wow. And he takes the food and money back from the guy and reshoots it, and he didn't realize that some other person had caught him on camera doing it.
Oh wow, what a weasel!
Yeah, so it's like, those are the kind of people. That's why I'm saying I don't want to see like an influencer channel doing it. What I want to see is, those homeless people turning their lives around and then coming up and saying, "Yeah, this guy helped me out." You know what I mean? Like, because if you're the one doing that, then you're full of shit. I'm sorry.
I'm always I have to let it out today. At least once a day.
I saw this really cool one about this kid. There was this guy standing by himself in a corner in this patio outside a building. It was this white dude, and he was praying. And this kid, this young kid, he couldn't have been yay tall. He was a young black kid, and he walks up to him and he says, "Hey, mister, are you homeless? Are you hungry?" He's like, "Here's $1." And he gives the guy $1. And in the next part of the video, they show the guy inside. And the guy says, "Well, thank you very much." The guy was actually a millionaire. He was some celebrity. I mean, not well-known celebrity.
Oh, yeah. He was praying. He was praying.
He was praying. And this kid selflessly gave to him because he thought. I saw that the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's so good. We need more of that in this world." Okay,
Did
man,
those come with the
us?
Robo Skull?
Yes, these are the Robo Skulls, Assassin Skeledrone, something or another.
Nice.
And they're
are they articulated?
Yes, they are.
That looks like that bad Tom Selleck cop movie.
Oh yeah, with a
run away. Only they didn't
away.
have heads. They didn't have heads on.
Right,
They were just like
they were more robot looking.
Yeah. I like that.
Wasn't Gene Simmons the villain in that?
Yes,
he was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, like the head is articulated. I'm trying to find.
What's that for? Is that for Motu?
No. This was
no. It's its own thing. There's this. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's called the Robo Skull, and it looks like a TIE fighter, only it's a big red skull with.
Oh, is that what that was all about?
Yeah. It's from Action Force. It's from Britain's version of G.I. Joe.
Yeah. But a part of it that Bobby Valla didn't get his hands on.
Right, because now Fresh Monkey Fiction has it. They're making the 6-inch figures for that line.
Yeah.
Hey, can you make that big screen? Or can you make that full screen?
Look good.
Click your little 3 buttons there. Oh, there you go. Now we can see it.
Is this the packaging? I know I covered the damn stuff. I had it all.
Are we getting a behind the scenes preliminary viewing of a feature video?
Yes. This is a.
So if you remember, for $2.99.
No, it ain't that ready. As you can see, it's not even chroma keyed yet.
Yeah.
But this is what I was looking for because Prophet was asking if they were articulated, and right here at each of the legs, it's on a ball joint, and then the head's on a ball joint too. And then the legs
so
on
not a ton side. Of articulation.
No. And like on the opposite side of the arm that you can't see, it does have a cut in it. See, you can see right there, it's got a cut in it, so it can get a little bit better articulation.
Yeah, so you could simulate walking with it if you had to.
Walking, it's like walking or flying is what it shows on the package. But I also figured out, I do it this way, it looks like it's on skis. So it has a water mode.
Oh,
too.
nice.
And then it's got a little port there in the back of the head. I'm not sure what that's for.
An upload.
It's probably for one of the add-ons because that Robo Skull had like 15 different add-ons you could have got.
But I picked this up at Joe Fest. I had been looking at these on Big Bad Toy Store for a while, and I saw them there. I was like, well, let me go ahead and pick them up. And
dude, that could be a really cool weapon. Like you could throw that like a spinning star.
A shuriken.
Yeah.
But I figured, even at 1/18th scale with, what it is, you can kind of fit it in wherever because it's just a little robot that goes around and assassinates people.
So, like, is Joe Fest really not like what it used to be?
I don't know what it used to be.
Yeah, I don't know about Joe Fest, but I can tell you that the
fun.
old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be.
Yeah.
But Ed and I went, this year. That's the first time I've been to Joe Fest.
That was my first con I went to.
And it's the first con I've been to since like 92 or 93.
That's why I wanted the podcast tonight because we went to lunch. We ended up going to lunch there at the place we ate at, Bees. Yeah. And they had some good food there. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it's in my now hometown. But I was like, I didn't even realize that's where we were. I was like, this looks like the place I was like, wait a minute, this is.
But I had fun there. We missed every single friggin' panel that they had.
And I couldn't get you to shoot video, man.
And well, I was just in awe, man. I mean, everything that they had there on the floor was just.
It was a lot.
It was a little overwhelming.
And it did clear out a little bit on Sunday. Because we went Saturday and Sunday. We didn't go Friday night. But and Sundays when we met, what's his name?
Seth Green,
which is pretty cool. We should have went to his panel. I would have.
Oh yeah, I have problems with Seth Green.
Oh Lord.
He touched. Where did he touch you?
Yeah, yeah. I knew there was some kind of.
Well, I'm
something with
talking
him, but I
about
couldn't
what
remember what it
happened with.
was.
I'm talking about what happened with Isaac Cappy. Isaac Cappy was Seth Green's best friend, and Isaac Cappy came out and said Seth Green tried to get me to partake in some pedophilia with children,
Ooh.
and I told him no. And he came on YouTube and said, I am not suicidal. He made a long video about like what happened and said, I am not suicidal. If I'm dead tomorrow, I did not kill myself. And the very next day, the news reported he had jumped off a bridge to his death.
Oh Lord!
Into traffic. Now you can go ahead and say what you want to say, but that to me is sus enough that that I now have issues with Seth Green.
Yeah. Well, I knew that I could remember that there was some kind of controversy with him. I just couldn't remember what the hell it was.
See, because the media buries shit like that. They bury shit like that.
Yep.
Except when it suits them.
Right, when they need a scapegoat.
Exactly.
But yeah, I can't. I just can't with him anymore after that, man. And it's sad because I loved Robot Chicken. I thought Robot Chicken was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm not the kind of person that'll alienate an entire show just because some evil person's in it. Right?
Yeah.
Like everyone was like, oh, Kevin Spacey did so-and-so. You can't ever watch Usual Suspects again. I'm like, bro, Kevin Spacey is one person out of like 500 that worked on that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was a very good actor. Kevin Spacey. It's kind of a shame that, his career is ruined. But I mean, if he did what he did, then by all means, burn him at the stake or whatever is appropriate. But he made a lot of good films. It sucks. That's where you're like, celebrity versus.
But that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like the movies that have him in it, like he's not the only person that was in that film. He's not the only one that worked on it.
He was good in Baby Driver. I think that was his last big one before everything blew up with him.
Well, that show he had on Netflix.
That was
the political thriller.
House of Cards.
Yes. Yeah. That was actually pretty damn good.
No, his best work was on Superman.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear you say that because I don't want to have to end our friendship.
He wasn't a terrible Lex Luthor, but he wasn't Lex Luthor.
No, he wasn't. Like, I have a whole problem with that entire show.
Well, here's the thing. That was Bryan Singer's love letter to Richard Donner. And, when he cast Brandon Routh, it was because he wanted somebody that kind of had that same look.
Well, he did a great job, I think.
But then there were some of the casting was really out of place. Like I felt like the Lois Lane
was terrible
in that one. Was
absolutely
she was just out of place.
Right.
Spacey as Luthor. You figured that he got somebody so close. Trying to get somebody reminiscent of Christopher Reeve. He tried to get somebody that was reminiscent of Gene Hackman. And it didn't turn out that way.
But the thing is, the Lois Lane, the way it's not that I dislike the actress so much. I just dislike the portrayal of Lois Lane. It's like Jonathan Kent. I don't have a problem with in Man of Steel with the actor. He's a good actor.
She didn't have black hair.
But that was not Jonathan Kent in there.
Right.
Jonathan
that was
said,
Bo
just let him die. Yeah,
that was Bo Duke. He should be jumping over rivers, and evading Boss Hogg and Enos.
No. Right? I'm talking.
I think John Snyder did a
John Snyder was possibly one of the best Jonathan Kents ever portrayed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who?
John Schneider, Bo Duke, was one of the best Jonathan Kent's ever. Not the best, but one of the best.
Yeah, he was. I agree.
We're talking about. I was talking about.
But we're talking about a very shallow barrel.
You're talking about Kevin.
I'm talking
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Yeah, and it's
Costner
not that
was
dislike
terrible.
Costner.
Yeah,
It wasn't that Costner was terrible. He was Kevin Costner playing Kevin Costner, basically.
Well, that's everything he's in.
Exactly. But the way Jonathan Kent was written, I was drawing the parallel between the way Jonathan Kent was written in Man of Steel was completely wrong, because Jonathan Kent wouldn't say, just let people die. Maybe you were supposed to let them die.
No, yeah.
And he wouldn't have let himself die in the tornado.
Right.
Exactly.
This is
that's
like
like,
the
and
whole
that's
movie.
like,
You
Right.
couldn't imagine John Glenn. Doing that.
right.
My whole issue with that movie is Superman got Lois Lane pregnant. There is no freaking way.
Yeah, he'd have blown her head off.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, they could have explained it away when he gave up his power, but I don't know. I don't know if the timing works, but there's no way that he would have left. Superman would not, or Kal-El, whatever, Clark would have not left for 6 years without telling her, "Hey, I'm going away," knowing you're going to be gone for a little while.
And then she fell in love and
well,
with Cyclops.
not only that, but like, how the hell did Superman lift an island made of kryptonite?
Yeah.
Well, he
That's
kind
a
of did. He kind of did it in
shit.
Smallville. In Smallville, the final episode, Apocalypse or whatever was coming to, and he kind of pushed it away from the
Dark
Earth.
Side, the Smoke Monster version.
I know, and
Yeah, but I mean, was that made of kryptonite?
it was not. No.
That's the argument, right? Because
Well,
the
that's the thing
island,
is,
the island Luthor made was entirely made of
Yes,
kryptonite.
of kryptonite.
But if you look
And one
at
tiny little sliver of kryptonite is enough to fucking kill him, and yet he can keep his superpowers and lift this whole island made of kryptonite.
but you
into
notice
space?
he did fall back to Earth, and then he was in the hospital for a while, and I guess the sun, regenerated him as he got away from the kryptonite, and when they got it out of him.
You can't call it a love letter to Richard Donner if you're going to ignore the mythology Richard Donner put forward.
Yes, he should have just spun the Earth backwards.
But
I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, if
I
one little kryptonite rock around his neck is enough to make him so weak that he can't stand, then how is he going to fly an island made of it into space?
I looked at him as really, because you could see him when he was doing that. You could see him sweating and all that. Like even when he first landed on the rock and he was dealing with Luthor on the island.
And
you
you're
could
not
see
going to
him
win this
sweating.
one, man.
I get what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I feel like he just pushed him. I want to think in the story that he pushed himself harder than he's ever pushed himself. And then
he did, but it's.
I mean, he couldn't even push himself to stand up with a tiny version of it. How's he gonna that's so dumb? Not only that, but he did it from underwater where he can't even see the sun. Come on, man.
But the rock was maybe it was more concentrated.
It was constipated.
It was constipated too, or maybe he was. And
I'm just saying, one little sliver of kryptonite is enough to fucking cripple the man. There's no way he's lifting an island made of it. That was Bryan Singer writing a fan film, not a fucking Superman.
Well, James Marsden, I liked his character, and I kind of felt sorry for him in a way, and it was. It sucks that
he was getting the shaft all the way around. He gets killed by Jean in The Last Stand, and then he gets dumped for Superman.
Well, and hey, there's another movie with a similar character, right? The guy he's a good guy through the whole film, but he still gets dumped at the end for the main character who's been an asshole the entire film. I'm talking about Carrie Yules in Liar Liar.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite Jim Carrey films, Liar Liar.
Me too. I like
right.
Carrie's got such good heart too.
Yeah, but Carrie Yules did not deserve to get shit on the way he did and get dumped at the end of it just because Fletcher decided to fucking do the right thing. You know what I mean? Fletcher's been a neglecting husband and father for all this time. Carrie Yules has been nothing but a great guy to her and her kid. He was a little Magoo the way he was portrayed. but he definitely shouldn't have got dumped for Jim Carrey after all the bad shit Jim Carrey did.
Kind of like God, what was his name in the Santa Claus? That was when Tim the Toolman Taylor got the Santa Claus card, and but his wife was married to somebody else.
Yeah,
I forgot.
It was kind of like that.
Well, but he doesn't wind up back with his wife in that.
Well, that's true.
Because he winds up finding the Mrs. Claus in the next movie.
Yep.
which she was
right, and it's not the same woman that played his wife. That's the woman from Lost played her.
Yeah.
What's the name?
She's
Julia.
She's hotter than his wife, his ex-wife, anyway.
Yeah, she's that actress is very attractive.
And Lost, man, I love that show all the way up to the very last.
She was in the new V series.
Oh, don't even get me started on Lost, man. Jesus Christ. that show had such potential because it made you think that they had accidentally landed on an island that was like a scientific research center, and they kept building on that and building on that through all the seasons of it. And then at the end, they're like, oh, no, none of that matters. They've been dead the whole time. It's purgatory. It's like, God damn it, eat shit.
Yes, and die and go to hell. Not necessarily in that order.
With noodles.
Right? It's just awful, man. It's like, and that's there you go. There's more proof that Abrams doesn't know how to end something.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last night, Prophet.
We were.
All right, it's almost 1:00, so I'm gonna get going.
Yeah. It's almost midnight where I'm at. I'm gonna jump out as well.
Oh, before y'all do that, I got a screen share.
Oh, screen share.
Yeah. And this is episode 800.
Retro.
Or the title card for it.
Sweet.
I don't know that character.
I don't either.
He's not. I wouldn't say he's very well known. He was the head of the Magia, which was like
Maga. He's the head.
No, Magia, which was like the super mafia, and he was the head of
the
that
magic mafia.
And he only, he had superpowers, but he only had superpowers once, and they killed him. The superpowers did.
He looks like they hijacked him out of the what is it, the Invincible cartoon?
Yeah, and like this costume, he only wore this costume in
he looks like Dracula kind of, and
2 or 3
he's got
the
count.
Avengers.
Right, he looks like an amalgamation of like 4 other characters.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he looks like Mordo in the face, Baron Mordo.
Oh yeah,
but then he's got Doctor Strange's hair.
And he's got not quite Tony Stark's goatee, but
you find him more in Iron Man comics than Avengers. But he did fight them both.
Well, you've got to invite us to your stream that you should your 800th. your is that Hawk 2? General Hawk 2?
No.
A review. So you got to invite us all to your.
That's actually a really good figure.
Yeah, that General Hawk.
Yeah, it is
incredible.
The only thing is the waist on mine is stuck, and I've dipped it, and I'm afraid to put any heat on it because I did that on one of the dreadnoughts and on their hips, and just melted it right off when I moved it.
Yeah, once in a great while you'll get a figure where they the assembly they put it together too soon. Yeah, and because the plastic wasn't set yet, it fuses, and there's just no fixing that, man. No. It's unfortunate.
It doesn't look right. His hair on there just doesn't look. Ooh, Mythic Legends.
Mythic Legions are great looking figures, but they're so expensive.
They are, though. If you catch them when they actually have them on their website, they're not quite as bad.
Well, they're still like $55.
It depends on which ones you get, man. Like the more like the less deluxe type, is if you can catch them on there, they're like $26 on their website, but it's not like they have stuff all the time. And it's like the horses, they got 2 horses on there now that are $55, but if you were to get them at, say, Big Bad Toy Store or something, you're pushing $70 on it.
Yeah, that's my issue with them, right? Because they never have anything I want in stock on their own website.
Yeah, that's
and then
true.
You go to Big Bad, and the price is almost doubled. It's
yeah,
like, come on, man.
And they had like an almost plain skeleton about 2 weeks ago, and I was trying to get that damn thing, and before I could check out, the damn thing was sold out. So
see,
instead,
I like the Boss Fight Studios skeletons better.
That's
anyway.
what I was fixing to say. I went and ordered the Barbarian Epic Hacks, and I will tell you this, Kurt. If you ever want to do a display with like burnt up Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen,
yeah,
you can get you a couple of those Epic Hacks skeletons, and all the bits and bobs are removable.
Oh, okay.
So you can take it down to a plain skeleton.
You know what I did for my like skeleton displays, DC? I ordered the like a $5 string of skeletons for like Halloween display.
Yeah.
They're 6 inches tall, and they're not very detailed, but they're for the background.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of broke them at the joints and glued them back together in the position I wanted them in, and now I have great skeletons for my background displays.
And then here's the 86 Bumblebee.
That's actually a pretty damn cool Transformer, and if I was into Transformers, that would be one that I'd want.
I will say this. I understand what they were trying to do with the alt mode on this one, which was give it that more that like deformed penny racer style that the original G1
right
figure had, but my preference is still that the Walmart Netflix Bumblebee.
I have that one. I have a bunch of Bumblebees.
Yeah, interesting story. In that first Michael Bay movie, the reason they didn't go with a Volkswagen Beetle was because Volkswagen didn't want to be associated with guns.
Yep.
They were still worried about the stigma of World War II, and they were like, no, we can't have our car turn into a thing that shoots guns.
Yep. So, but that's it. That's next week's videos.
Nice. So, as you can see, I've already got my goodbye icon up.
Well,
I'm gonna go ahead and let Ed say his thing, and then I'll say "fuck you, goodbye."
Well, what about if you're a scalper?
A scalper.
Well, there's no scalpers here, man.
Well, Caveman, I want to say before we go, you didn't answer my question about when your 800th live stream is going to be.
Oh, I still ain't 100% decided if I'm gonna.
You've decided, yes, you decided. Your fans are asking for it, so just let us all know when.
Have you guys got plans for Monday about 9:00?
Well, Monday we do Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
Yeah, and Monday's our wrestling night.
It looks like
now if you said Monday night at 10 p.m.
I can push it back.
No, 11 p.m. 11 p.m.
Raw.
Well, the thing is, I'm gonna start going to school, so school's back in. So.
Oh my God! It's just homework you don't want to do anyway.
Well, it is the first day, technically.
Tuesdays are
I want you to do me a favor, Ed. On your first day in class, I want you to go into the class blasting "Hot for Teacher" from Van Halen.
Oh no, I've seen this teacher.
Oh, it's a dude.
Hey, if the teacher's hideously ugly, that makes it even more important to do it.
I've got a new teacher. I'm moving on to the next teacher. So
oh, okay.
You hadn't seen him yet. He's pretty cool.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. So anyway, Thank you, everybody. Profit Director, thank you for being here. Sergeant Curtis Schultz.
Yep. Thanks for having us. I know we said it wasn't political, and yet it did for a little while there, but at least we were able to veer back off onto track.
Yeah.
So, fuck you guys. I'm out.
Thanks. I appreciate y'all being here and all that. And I guess I'm supposed to roll the let's see, I'm supposed to roll the outro, which I still don't have an outro. So here's the intro. So let me end the show and then we can be on. All right.
Welcome to the Geek Homeworld podcast. I'm your host, Ed, aka the Savage Tech Man. We talk film, TV, and tech, all from a geek perspective. You can find us on X, Instagram, Facebook, and you can subscribe and follow on YouTube at Geek Homeworld. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Be a part of the Geek Homeworld.
Yeah, I might have to pay